The following program is presented by Large Ray's Slow Roast Coffee. Large Ray's Slow Roast Coffee. It's like when you're roasting a guy, but you do it real slow, you know?
Oh hey, welcome back to the next level of fact or freestyle.
Oh, there's Joe.
I am so happy right now. I can't even tell you how happy I am.
Why is that?
It's, you know how long it's been? I'm bubbling to get this out of my system. I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you how excited. So I'm making a little graphic for the show because right here I have
a great quote for that. I think I text you how you have to market that coffee now.
tell me.
Joe Grottola's brother and I, Michael Grottola, we did it was a YouTube only. He has a video of a contest from 1985 in Long Island.
Okay.
And so he's going to put it up, and it's just like he and I giving like commentary. And it was hard for me to see it, but it has some good stuff. It had Joe setting up for what I thought was the backwards bar ride, but it was so early on, it was just a backwards frame stand. But he purchased, it was the frame stand. But he did, he bought the coffee and made it in a percolator and drank it. And he goes, well, it's a really good gas station coffee. So we could have the world's best gas station coffee. Now,
yes,
there's more gas stations probably in the world than Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks combined. So if we make the world's most famous gas station coffee, I mean, that's even more keeping it real than having like a exquisite brand of coffee. Like, dude, we have gas station coffee. Like, who hasn't had a gas station coffee?
Yeah, and gas station coffee is fun because truckers and people are on the road. Like legitimate people go to drink gas station coffee.
Real people drink gas station coffee, and
real people.
Yes. Oh my God. We're going to be gazillionaires when this is all over.
Oh my gosh.
I also noticed because everybody at my work wears the Large Ray shirt now because I gave everybody a shirt pretty much. And I heard it from the people that didn't get a shirt. He drew that picture so well. It even has my wedding ring on the shirt, or on the drawing. The wedding ring is on there. That's like some detail.
Yeah.
That's detail, right? Like, that's crazy.
Steve is alarmingly detailed. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Is that Andy? Is that my boy Andy? Is that my boy Andy? Yeah, Andy, what's up, homie?
How's it going?
Andy's getting pretty good at Flatland. He's gonna be a real Flatlander someday. Once he can get out of that.
Joking.
Once he can get out of that girl class, he can, Yeah, I said a girl class. I'm joking around. It's a joke. Shut up. Whoever's pissed, fuck it. He's in the girl class. I'm making jokes. I'm a comedian. This is an act. This is a show.
Andy, so my agent Vinny, which is our agent Vinny, asked me, what's Ray's talent? And I go, Ray's the funniest man alive.
The list is so long, it's unbelievable. And I go,
what are my he's talents? The guy behind the guy behind the guy. And Vinny just goes, easy button.
Easy. That was my breakdance name.
Easy button.
Easy button. Oh man. Yeah, we got to get Vinny on here. Vinny's a high energy dude. Did you get anything back from him today when you sent him?
He's joining. He's joining. we don't know when, and he's only got like 13, 16 minutes, like something.
Yeah, that's part of that.
Like
That's all
very
made
specific.
up. That's to be so it looks like he's busy. He's probably sitting at home playing with his, you know, his Transformer collection from the 90s or something. He's got nothing. I met Vinny and spoke to him for a while. He ain't got nothing going on. He's at home trying to figure out the Play-Doh machine, dude. He ain't doing nothing. There's nothing going on with that dude. I got 15 minutes. Come on.
I wrote. Oh, Andy, I got to send this to you. I wrote some ad copy for the large race slow roast coffee ad, because I like, we need a new intro and we need little breaks and stuff. So I need to find someone with like the best accent possible. And if you can get them, I just sent it to you. Ray, I sent it to you before. And so I'm
Joe,
trying to like,
I don't see half the stuff you send. I look right at it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean?
I went back through my feed this past week, and I'm like, I used to think that Ray was exaggerating when he said, "I don't know what you're talking about," and it's just one garage.
No.
It's a.
When I say I have no idea what you're talking about, I only say I don't use those freely. I use those to let people know, like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and I read my messages, and you know how people will say, "Joe, where do you find the time to do all this antics?" And what I say is, I find the time between when I stand up at my computer and then I like run to vacuum something real quick, or like it's all done in like 3-minute bursts when I just need to like get a breath of fresh air.
Man.
When I reread the texts, it is evident that they happen within 3 minutes, 3-minute bursts. It sounds ridiculous.
Ray, I left a little Easter egg when I sent that tribute after the launch of the large race slow roast coffee, when I did the boy gets hit by his own bike.
Yeah.
In the hashtags I have what are you even talking about? Like hashtag what are you talking about?
That's awesome. Dude, yeah, what were you thinking?
Joe saw it, he thought it was, but I knew you wouldn't look at it, so
I didn't look at it. But I watched you do the boy get run over by his own bike, and that's ridiculous. Like, that's a hard hit to take, you know?
And it's actually surprisingly hard to like get in front of the bike.
Oh, you have to have a little pep in your step. Yeah. I mean, I was 19 when I did it, and I could actually for a big man, one of my, as Joe was saying, one of my many talents, I was actually really fast for being a big fat guy. I used to race people. Like, I'd be playing like flag football or like softball or something. Somebody would say like, "Oh, then Ray got up and he can't even make it around the bases." And I'd be like, "Dude, I'll beat you in a race from first, like from home plate to first." And they'd be like, "Yeah, right." And I never like called somebody out without beating them. And the last one was like, just like this young lady on our team. She's like, "Oh, I could probably beat you in a race." She was real small, so I had like the leg advantage, but I could run. So for the boy getting run over his own bike, I was actually egged on by doing that by Steve Giberson, if you ever heard that name. He's a very famous Steve Giberson. He was a racer in the 70s, and then he worked for all the magazines. He worked for like every magazine taking photos. And he was like, we were talking about it like as a joke, and he goes, "If you do that in your run, I'll do a sequence in the magazine." And that may have been like the first time I was ever in a magazine was doing, and it was like Super BMX and Freestyle. Somebody has it. I think Gary has it. But if somebody could find that and post it or send it to somebody, it was a black and white, like 6-shot boy getting run over by his own bike. And I don't know what happened to it. I lost the magazine. or sold it at Buckeye with all the other stuff.
I would pay and then say that.
Somebody has it. If we put it out there on the interweb, on Face World, somebody would be like, oh yeah, I got that issue.
What issue was it? Do you know?
Whatever had the velodrome, whatever had
Okay.
it was probably the 87 velodrome. It was the first. There's Todd. It was the first contest of that series. Todd will probably know. Todd knows everything.
Yeah,
Todd knows everything.
if that was if
It was a
87
Saco
velodrome.
contest.
Okay, so was that like November?
It was
Saco may have
it was
been
right
summer.
after the Florida contest, which was the Florida contest was the first one.
Yeah, Florida was first.
Maybe it was the finals. Maybe it was the finals.
It was finals. So
it
it was like October, November. So that means it would have been like probably February or March of '88 issue.
Yeah.
I'll make a note and check my stuff downstairs.
What did you say
but
it was, Todd?
It's like Super BMX and Freestyle. You have to look. You'll save a lot of time by looking in the very beginning to see if Steve Giberson's working at the magazine, because he's definitely the guy that shot it. And there might have been like I think there was like a Super BMX and Freestyle, and then there was like an American Freestyler that Scott Town did.
Yeah.
And then there was like some other magazine.
What is
Who
the
knows?
date
There was a bunch.
that you said, Todd?
It would have been
1988
probably
March?
like February of '88 or March of '88, because magazines were usually a couple months behind
Yep.
the event.
I'm pretty sure I don't have that issue.
Scott Nagy.
Come
gave
on,
you a
Andy.
box.
And you should have everything by now.
No.
There's nothing you shouldn't have.
I think Andy has a line on everything now.
Joe,
So-
it seems like maybe we're getting your natural sound from the computer and not your line input of your microphone, because it sounds like we're getting just the room, kind of the
Who
room,
brought the audio visual guy into this
Thank you, Todd.
conversation here?
the room Joe and not the mic Joe.
Wow. Boy. I thought Joe would have his shit down
Mr.
by now,
DeGroot.
too.
Yeah.
And
And
Mr. Vinny.
Well, it says that it's running through my audio.
Hey, that's the guy
device.
that bought all the Trek stuff. He's got the same wig on he had at Buckeye. Vinny, is that you? That is Vinny. And Chad, what's up? Everyone's got their glasses on. Is
Wait,
Chad okay?
I thought Chad would be.
Chad, you all right?
Chad, can you hear us?
Chad, are you all right? Is Chad okay? Is Chad okay?
Chad, right, what are they telling you to read to us? Can you
Chad okay?
show Chad, have them give you today's newspaper? I want to make sure that you're okay.
Chad's
I can
singing.
read that.
Chad doesn't know where he is. I feel like I should go get my glasses. I can't see anything.
These are my wife's, and I put them on and it almost knocked me off the chair. They're thick. There's some thickens.
Do you have the same
When you put them
frames?
on, Andy, do you hear like a New Kids on the Block song or anything like that?
No.
No.
That's your
Can you hear the
band.
Ocean?
Oh,
I
God.
do that too.
No,
No, that's yours.
not-
You're hanging tough.
No. That's all Todd. Todd and my wife bonded over, what is it, NK OTB or whatever.
See, you've already practiced that. That was way too smooth. Look at you trying to play it off. Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you were a Corey Feldman guy.
So Vinny.
Yeah, that too.
So Vinny,
Vinny only has a few minutes. So let's devote all this
Vinny's
to
got to
Vinny
go.
right now.
So Ray's got a great pitch for the coffee. So Ray, why don't you tell Vinny?
Vinny, we finally have your purpose on planet Earth. We are now labeling the Large Ray Slow Roast as the world's greatest gas station coffee.
And why is that?
Because more people have gotten coffee at gas stations than any other place in the world, probably more than Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, and there's more gas stations than any of that. So we'd like to market it to the people, the real people of the world. What the
Real
fuck's
people
Andy
drink
laughing
gas
at?
station coffee. So Ray, where did this idea come from? What
From
inspired this?
from Joe Gertola's little brother, Mike. Mike Gertola bought a bag, and he was drinking it he made it in a percolator, and he said, wow, he's like, this coffee's okay. I mean, it's like a really good gas station coffee. Vinny's not taking any notes, man. Is his mic on? Can Vinny hear us?
Yeah.
I was kidding about the wig. There he goes. He's back.
Yeah, we may need to do an audio test just to make sure we're hey Andy, can you play some New Kids on the Block just to make sure everyone's speakers are working okay?
I don't actually have any. My wife does.
Oh, it's your wife's
It is.
collection. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to see whatever his name is, Joey something in Milwaukee soon. So
Oh,
it'll be like her fifth time seeing him or something.
sure. And
I'm not.
and are you just happening to you're not going? So
I'm not going. I'm
you're
not.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You're not driving her there or anything.
Nope. Not a chance.
Okay.
Is that Joey Fatone?
That translates to fat one in Italian, by the way.
Oh, all right. So
True.
I just want to orient everyone to Chad DeGroot. Dave quit the show, and we thought, who better to replace Dave, because Dave rode for Chad in the X Games.
Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Everything good?
Yes.
It sounds
Yes.
real good.
Okay. Vinny, I thought, where did Vinny go? Is he up
Still
there?
there.
Yeah, he's
Oh. Let me scroll over. Oh, yeah, he's fake. That's crazy. Andy, what's up? Todd, what's
How's
up?
it going?
Joe,
Hey.
what's up? Large, what's up?
Yo.
Yo.
Johnson
All
in
right.
the house.
So Chad, what are you up to? You're at the beach? Are you down the shore?
Yeah, we're on the Jersey Shore. Yeah.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
where in the Jersey Shore? Are you shitting me?
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's on the
Down
Florida
the shore.
shoreline. It's St. Pete, so it's like the good coast. It's where everything's like very clear and you see dolphins and stuff like that. So yeah. I wish I could make it to the Jersey Shore. Large, you freaked out right there, huh?
Well,
he's
dude, I
close.
was like,
He's
if you're
nearby.
if you're at the Jersey Shore, I'll go meet you tomorrow for breakfast, man, and we'll find out what Vinny's gonna do for us now that he's everybody's agent.
There's no way.
You know?
That's not. How do you do a fake Vinny? Like, I don't even know this guy. Like, how did you guys do that?
Dude,
All right.
Vinny's
so
right
here's
there.
the
What are you
backs-
talking about?
Yes,
Vinny hasn't spoke yet, though.
He even has like
Vinny-
an email and everything.
But he hasn't said anything yet. What's he doing? Is he
Chad
holding
thinks
his
that
breath?
Vinny
Ask-
is like a Chat GBT version that Joe created.
Ask
That's
Vinny a question and see if he'll answer something.
Anything?
Yes,
So,
anything.
I don't know. He's just kind of looking at us.
Vinny knows everything.
He's my agent. He should be talking.
Vinny's like staring
What's
a
up,
hole through
Joe?
all of us.
Oh, there he goes. Wait. Oh,
There
we
he
have to
goes.
warm up a little bit.
Vinny
Yeah.
knows everything.
Is Vinny smiling?
Doing
Yeah.
How you
something.
doing, Chad?
He's got
Hey.
his teeth in. There he goes.
Vinny, I got a question for you. Do you have real or fake
Shoot. Do I have real or what?
fake teeth?
Oh, Joe's got fake teeth. I've seen those chompers up close.
Did you
Those
say
things
other?
are like
I didn't know
those
there's
things are
another
right out of a
check box.
morgue.
Other?
All right.
Vinny, you're killing
Yeah,
it.
how's
Keep
it
it
going,
up, man.
fellas?
It's going.
So, Joe, what's on the agenda today?
All right. So we have a couple things. Ray had to reveal the gas station coffee. We also we want to introduce Vinny, but we also want to introduce this concept of the Master's Apprentice, because I have made arrangements for Dave to go on a mini tour and to be trained by an actual contemporary touring BMX rider. and they will rate Dave like an apprentice.
Who'd you pick as the
Bill
master?
Nitschke. Bill Nitschke. Dave's going to spend 3 days with Bill Nitschke doing shows.
I got a
Don't pack a
request.
shirt.
Yeah.
Can Bill be like shirtless the whole time?
Yes. And the point of this is Bill's going to stay at a variety of hotels, and Bill's going to give Dave the simulated on the road treatment so that Dave can be a reliable tour mate to Ron and Brian and Kevin.
He's gonna give him the road treatment, like what? Like hand jobs and hash browns, or like what's he gonna do for him?
Well, he's going to
What's he
tell him
got?
to like set up. He's going to set up the ramps. He's going to tear down the ramps. He's going to do whatever you need on the road.
Nitschke is.
No, Dave is.
Oh, Dave is.
And
But Dave-
Nitschke's going to teach him how to do it because Bill, we suspect that Dave might have gotten soft in his later years, and we need to
Right.
we need
Nitschke
to
will
get him road ready.
probably have him drive and then have him roll the van, just to kind of get those muscles worked out again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Build the
have
muscle.
him leave the van door open and then get all of his clothes stolen. I mean that
He's gonna simulate robbing. He's just gonna
Simulate robbing.
He's gonna steal Dave's clothes and have Dave go around looking for his own clothes.
which is
Great
really
idea.
kind of a cool exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a serious
So-
exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chad, what other
Be documented.
Stoney and or Brantmore are going to accompany all of this? So
Who
Chad,
are you on this trip too?
no, I'm just the executive producer.
Sorry, I just spit all over my camera. Great.
It's really easy for me.
Let me wipe this. Hang on.
Joe's got a guy to do it.
What did you say? It's easy for you?
It's very easy for me to call
I'll-
Bill and get him excited about this idea.
No, I don't doubt that. I think Nuri, like, I'd love to do some kind of reenactment of like a black cat peeing in his bike bag.
Oh yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
We
Is
need
like
a
to
cat.
throw them off.
Yeah.
Like, and then like just reenactment of everything. I think, anything we could come up with, right?
All right,
Hey-
so
hey,
we
Joe.
need some cat pee.
One
or
one
a
thing
cat.
one thing that Dave will need, like just as a resource so we can set him up for success. I think he's gonna need like a white fluffy bathrobe,
Of course.
like because Nitschke, like I would imagine like Nitschke, like by 7 p.m. is chilling in the bathrobe. So Dave's gonna, to kind of blend in with Nitschke, he's gonna need his own bathrobe. And
there was this one time around Voodoo Jam when I was making all these memes of like people karate kicking. I found an old footage, an old picture of Dave, like Scott O'Brien karate kicking in a white robe. And I've got to find this, and I put it like inside of Generations Hall. So Scott O'Brien we may have to call ABD on Scott O'Brien.
yeah, I don't
All
remember
right,
that
Chad.
one.
So what other trials are we putting Dave through?
Hey, have you ever experienced them maybe recently? Like when we were in Tulsa, I told him, I was like, hey man, my car's leaving right now. I gotta go. Love you. Hugs. And he's like, I need 30 seconds. And he's like, I gotta teach you the Gumby. I'm like, did that 30 years ago. And he's like, no, we got to do it now. How many people in this group or that he has done that to recently? So I think somebody needs to teach him the Gumby, but he needs to sit and start twitching because he knows how to do it and be very slow about talking about how to do it correctly. And then just not even have him do it. Like just take away his bike.
Joe's
that-
Joe's probably been the one to most recently do a Gumby. Yes.
I have, so the first time I met Dave, it was in your shop, Chad, and he was trying to instruct me how to do a Gumby, and I was doing it close enough fine, and he got really pissy, and he goes, "Are you listening?" And he took the bike away, and I was like, I think that's Dave's, like he comes in and like he pisses on a tree, you know, like, and I think it's his mind game. He makes everyone do Gumbies, and it's just like, that's hard, isn't it?
Is
It's
that
real
the time
hard,
he
and
came
you're
to
not
my
even
shop and he
60.
did a bunch of like Vander rolls and stuff?
Off
And then off the pool table?
yes,
Oh,
it was in
he
2016.
he told me that he got like 1.5 million views on that. That's
He does get lots of views.
yeah. And I mean he thanked me for it, but I was like, well, you're the one that did it, and you took a chunk out of my pool table. And then he took a marker and he was gonna sign it, and then he just kind of filled in the spot that he took the chunk out of. And then I was like, but it's Dave and it's okay, right? Or is it?
Well, okay, when Dave announced that he was in Michigan and that he was going to come down to the Terradome Sports Science Research Center and stay. And we went out and I got we went to Target and I got some like fresh sheets, and I had an air mattress, and was it almonds? I had almonds. I had a bag of almonds, and he opens the almonds, has some almonds, goes to bed. The next day, the almonds are like tipped over because it was an old schoolhouse and the mice had gotten in. I found almonds squirreled throughout my house for the next 3 months, and I was like, Dave, all you had to do was close the bag, but you didn't close the bag. And I'm like, he's going to leave every bag of Bill Nitschke's open. And then I'm going to get a phone call about all the bags that Dave's left open of Bill's. And I think that's so
Joe,
funny. I can't wait for it.
Will you get the phone call, or will Vinny get the phone call?
Oh, I'm sorry. Vinny's going to get the phone call. Yeah. So Vinny,
yeah.
The reason we're telling you all about this is because as Dave's agent, you're also going to have to be his press agent and explain away all of his behavior.
Is Vinny going on
Sounds
this
good.
tour too? Are you going on this?
Oh, geez. I didn't think about that. Vinny.
That's what agents do. They
Yeah.
drop everything.
Yeah.
I've never had an agent. I don't know what they do.
You're looking at one right now. He's your
Yeah.
agent.
Well, Vinny, you didn't tell me about this.
Vinny.
We might have to arrange that. I can tell you Dave's hot off the trail of back-to-back camps in the past 2 weeks. So he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Tell us more about how the camps and how they went, because Dave has not given us an update. So how have they gone?
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's getting some great turnout, and he's really helping some people out. So it's great to see. He's doing an awesome job.
Awesome.
Great update.
So, okay, so, all right, so he's going to also do the first rehearsal where Ron and Brian and Kevin are gonna fly out to the Potato Dome, and they're gonna rehearse the show. The first time ever that the Haro team has rehearsed anything.
Wait, when's that going to be? We should all go to that.
It's July or August.
Like,
Let's pinpoint
rehearse
that.
what? Rehearse.
They're going to
show?
rehearse them doing the 1984 Haro show.
That's awesome.
They're going to rehearse the show they did 1,700 times between 84 and 88.
Some of those shows
don't
are
have it-
gnarly, though. They're like damn serious. So that's
Yeah.
wow.
They have John Peterson in case Blyther has to go do King of the Skate Parks. They're bringing in Peterson.
We were hoping to get Micah out there to coach them, but we figured maybe they need one good rehearsal under their belts, and then we can bring in Micah and he can bring in the pyrotechnics. like a sparkling Gumby, I think would be amazing.
On fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
that can happen.
So I have the Naked Gumby cup, and my wife keeps referring to it as the Naked Turtle cup, and I think that's hilarious.
Sure.
She's like, "Oh, do you want your Naked Turtle cup?" And I'm like,
Yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit. It's
"Yeah, like
a little
it's
bit of a like a Flintstones character
yeah,
style, Ninja Turtle style,
Yeah.
a little bit. See
You
that.
guys think this kind of looks like a turtle? My favorite
Yeah.
part are that you can see his toes.
yeah." The cartoon toes is the best. Like this, the oversized heels with the big hard sausage toes.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Chad, I did a naked Gumby.
Yeah. I informed her that it's not a trick, the Naked Turtle, and she's like, "Well, make it a trick. Invent something." I'm like, "Okay."
That's
Yeah,
like
why don't-
a swingers resort or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Dave would be a great swinger.
He should. You guys should end the tour and surprise him at a swingers place, and he has to do a demo, and they all
Yeah.
chant naked, and he has to do it.
They have to ride naked.
Yeah,
Dude, Chad, that's the most brilliant
no
thing
clothes.
ever.
It's
You
not.
could make him
clothes are
do.
not
He would
an option.
have to do the naked Gumby.
Yeah.
He's
He
featured though.
can't.
Yeah, he has. he
Joe,
has
why
to-
didn't you ever think of that?
Yeah,
I'm pushing the boundaries a lot, but Chad DeGroot is my
Chad,
mentor.
fucking, he's a natural. He figured it out. I never even thought of that.
He's the alien. He's the alien entity.
Yeah, Chad.
let's get it done. Yeah, I mean, we're just talking about it. Let's get it done, and a surprise too, Vinny. What up, Vinny?
What up?
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
There's got to be a lot. Where are they the most prevalent? Do you hear that word I used, Joe? That's a 10-cent word.
Good job,
Where are they
Ray.
most prevalent? Isn't that good? Like Florida would be
Awesome.
the most where the nude people are, right?
The swingers clubs, yeah, of course.
Well, like you like a nudist place, like a nudist camp. You set up
No,
the
that's
ramps and then
Yeah, there's a place called Secret in Orlando, and it's still like advertised. Like, accidentally, sometimes the radio comes on in my car. I don't know why. And it's all like secrets. Yeah, you have a secret. You could, Vinny, you could go there too, Vinny.
Yeah, Florida would be a nice venue. Got a good
Yeah.
scene there. Plenty
Yeah,
of
you
place
sound
to go.
hungry. Yeah, you
if
love
it's
it.
in Orlando, you can get Rob Nolly and his crew there.
Yeah, good golly, Rob Nolly and his hot Rob. Yeah, get him out
Hot
there.
Rob.
Did you make it to Spring Fling this year?
I didn't know. I've only made one of those, and I think it was like 4 years ago. And I'm kind of like
It's great.
slow on figuring
I
out the
got so
dates
much
or
progress.
whatnot.
The,
But
I'm doing
yeah,
a
I'd love to
show
go. I
right
didn't go
now
this
with
year.
guys who have
It's amazing.
but, like, I've got so
Were you
much,
more of a Swamp Fest kind of guy or Spring Fling?
I love them both. I
Chad will
like,
go
I
anywhere.
like helping out at Swamp Fest a lot, but Spring Fling is like, I only went to that one, but it was phenomenal. I had a blast. It was cool. It was awesome. It was just all about, everybody's there for the same reason, you know. So I'm down with all that stuff for sure.
So
Swamp Fest
yeah,
is
Swamp
so
Fest is
uncanny.
was pretty epic this year. That was great.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
got
they're-
to see the footage of it, but it was awesome. I got to tell you, I showed that to some people. It just blew them away. It's really cool. Those guys do an awesome job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get Flatland at it, and it's like pulling teeth, you know, but for the most part, it's one hell of an event and very good for BMX. But I last year I was like trying so hard, and it was just like a dead end with the rain and all the shit. Spending all
Yeah.
the money building a stage or helping out the stage and whatnot, and then just failing. And this year, like, nobody's giving me a response. So, but trying to get Flatland there so bad. And it's like, it's funny because it's like a motocross complex, and they have
Right.
all these paved areas for the RVs. And I told them I'll pay for a week's long for them to stay there if they leave for a week. And we have a Flatland pad for that stuff. And they're just like, oh, that's not going to work. And, talking to Trey and whatnot. And it's like, he's like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm like, oh my God. So I have no idea about that, but yeah, not to get sidetracked on it, but it's like, trust me, we're trying to get Swamp Fest and have
Cool.
fun in there and some cool shit too. So, but
I remember when you built the the space for rent. I remember,
This
Chad,
is
when
funny.
you built the stage there before, and I was like, that's crazy. The amount of work that goes into like building a stage is insane. So props to you for.
let me back this up, Todd. Like years ago, they had a stage built. They spent 30 grand on it.
Oh wow!
And it was for shows, and then I reserved it basically for us, and then viewing and stuff. So
Wow.
the second and third Swamp Fest were an elaborate, crazy stage that was beautiful and smooth.
Yeah.
The last 2 years was at Spider, and Trey built it for the band, and it was full intent of burning it, but it got so damaged. And then when I layered it, it was at the time when wood from anywhere was like paper.
Mm.
So I spent like $800 in wood, and I layered it the night before, and it rained, and it was fucking paper and just shredded. So I didn't build the stage. Don't give me credit on that, but trust me, like it had the right idea, but it was like, oh my God, that was like the worst stage I've ever seen in my life. And it was like, if you watch any old like Van Helman stuff, him trying to do Decades, I'll send you it. It's insane. Like, that dude's a champion. He wrecked harder than any handwheel he's ever ridden. So it's like, it's crazy. All in the sake of Flatland.
Yeah.
The stage is
Yeah.
just buckling underneath them.
Yeah. But Vinny, we need you for the stage. We need a new stage. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yeah, it's nice to meet you guys. So
Yeah.
let me know. Happy to
Vinny,
help.
is it in our budget to get a new stage at Swamp Fest or anything?
We'll have to talk
What
about
kind of money
Swamp
we got
Fest.
working with? What's that?
Well, I think probably more spring fling budget. Swamp Fest is a high rent district, but we'll check it out.
High rent? Come on. Look at that smile.
Speaking of rent,
Get it done. Get it done.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah, no, Swamp Fest is
Stoney.
a good time.
Oh, it's joined. Look at that.
You don't like tell him.
now I'm
Todd.
gonna have to like bleep all this.
What's up, Sony?
You lost?
Stony, congratulations on your most recent Emmy that you, I think you just won this week. Good work.
Yeah.
You might
I
be
need you to-
muted.
I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
I
Still muted.
had to get my shrimp wrap.
Oh,
Hooray, represented.
snap. Look at that. It's a double.
Yeah, you got to wear it on the inside though. That's part of the. Didn't you read your steward's manual?
Oh, no, Ray didn't get the steward's manual.
Oh,
I invented the
what?
steward's manual after Ray, your shrimp rock actually
My shrimp
now-
rock is an outside shrimp rock. I don't care what anyone says. I can do whatever I want with my shrimp rock.
I know,
I can pluck my own eyeball out and put my shrimp rock in there and fucking walk
Can you
around.
zoom in
wherever
on that
I
a
want.
little bit? Let me get a close look at that thing.
So my wife said on our wedding night.
nice. So funny.
Andy, do you have a Joe Sisman smile sticker attached to your shrimp rock?
I do not.
Okay.
I do have the one that Ray's holding up right now. I have that one just randomly in the house. So when we clean, all of a sudden you'll just find Joe's face somewhere. So that's always a fun.
Yeah. Ray's son really likes those, so he's placed them all over Ray's house too.
Yeah. But we got a lot of these. These I'm gonna give to Andy at the
Nice.
at York Jam, and he's gonna gonna, you know, put them on people's faces. Yeah, we got a lot going on here with Joe Systems likeness.
My Angie loves that picture, and she had me put it on the dash of the Jeep, and every time she gets in, she chuckles.
I have them all over the place. I have one on my doorbell. I have one on the refrigerator, and one on a syrup bottle, or as some people say, syrup. We don't.
I like
We only
syrup
say that.
better.
Yeah, but we have 3 of them right in the kitchen, and then there's one on the there's a sign out in front of my house, like a no parking sign or something, and it's on the back of that too. They're everywhere. They're like
Right,
dog
so-
shit. They're everywhere.
I only got the one though. You hung one on Matt's door handle. That's the only one that I got at York last year. So I only have,
Oh, okay.
so I'm
Well,
saving.
we don't have many left. You have a custom Joe Sisman shirt, though.
I do.
You know.
I need to get it signed, just like I had Brian Huffman sign my Brian Huffman shirt. That was the most reluctant signature I've ever fought for my entire life, and it was so funny.
It so was, and it was. He signed the white part with like a white marker. Yeah. So you've really got to look to be able to see it. And how long did it take, Andy? Like 6 hours to get it? 7 hours?
A long time. Basically, during the pre-jam, anytime he was about to ride, I would yell at him.
Yeah.
Like, sign my shirt first.
This has got to drive Brian Huffman batshit crazy.
Yeah, it did. And he was like so reluctant because he knew that as soon as he did, someone would have a phone out to grab it. And so he waited for the moment that like everyone kind of dropped their guard.
Yeah.
And he signed it. And Andy, like, I think Andy yelled, "Oh, Brian's signing my shirt." And by the time he noticed it, he was done. Like, so nobody captured the moment. He knew exactly what was happening, and he beat us all at our own game. Yep.
He waited till the end when people were starting to pack up, ready to leave.
Yeah.
And then, but I wore it the next day and I showed everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of events have happened since we've gotten back together. And
I won that down the shore, by the way.
Excellent.
In the claw machine.
Check.
Oh, really?
First try.
It's a seagull with a French
Good job,
fry.
Ray.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This one time I won a basketball in the claw machine, which I don't understand how I did.
Weird.
Stoney's back.
Can you hear me?
Right.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I have audio. What's up, y'all? How we doing? What I miss?
What's up, Stoney?
We were just about to go over the Buckeye Bike Show.
Oh, all right. Vinny.
I was there.
What's up, Vinny? What's up, Chad? What's up, Ray? What's up, Joe?
Happening?
What's up,
Vinny's
Todd?
very talkative today.
Stoney, congratulations on your most recent Emmy.
You know, I earned it. I put a lot of effort into it. I'm kind of proud of it.
You had a couple of Emmy wins this week.
I did.
Allegedly your work, allegedly Joe's work. We'll see how that all pans out. But
details are minor. You don't have to get it. Just give me my prize. All right. That's all I want. My prize.
All right. So we also met Brant Moore, and we finally met up with Eddie Fiola. And I didn't ask Eddie why he unfriended me on Facebook, but we were chummy. And so I think he probably just, needed space for people who pay him.
Were you trying to hit him up like Bill Allen wrench at all?
Bill Allen was there and his wife, and
Bill Allen wrench. Allen wrench.
I told Bill Allen Wrench what we did, Chad.
Okay.
And
did you grope him at all? Like you put your arm around him?
I did not.
In a little bit.
I did not. I was thinking, would that really fit the vibe of of the day, and I just
If you're asking me, yes.
On a
I know
different
it's not
day.
a question towards me, but yes, it would fit the vibe for sure.
So his wife gave me their like new email, like
You
not
keep
the
telling
one
me
that's on
that,
the
but
website.
let's move with this, right? Come on,
You know, I've been fucking. You're right, Chad. You're right.
Vinny.
You're right.
Vinny. We need Vinny in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vinny.
What do we want
Yeah.
to say to him?
All right.
First off, acknowledge that he's Bill Allen Wrench. I mean, he just needs to accept that, and then you know, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was definitely representing. It was funny to have him and Eddie there at the same time. So even though they
Chad-
act in doubles a lot, you actually could never see them in the same frame.
Do you think they get along, or they had to?
Yeah. What's your
Um,
take
yeah.
on this?
They had to take turns, or what?
Well, I think Eddie's earned a good living being the stunt guy, so he's the lower half of the action, and Bill gets the top up, right? So
One's a
The
chest,
lower
one's
half
like
of
a
the
drawing
action.
section. So one's like hips down, like cock and balls. The other one's like all man tits and head.
Wait,
That's
don't
it.
you guys?
That's
I
it.
think Eddie's done more stuff on film than Bill Allen did, right?
Yeah.
Eddie's probably got, like, if you go to that IMDb thing, I bet you Eddie's got 1 million more credits than Crew Jones, right? And someone's got to teach Bill Allen, when he dyes his hair, he's got to go all the way down. He looked like he had 2 marshmallows on the side of his head because he only dyed the top of his head and not the side.
Do you think that's like his agent? Maybe he needs a better agent.
He might need a new agent.
Yeah.
Vinny, do you
Yeah.
do hair at all? Do you do consultations for hair? No.
No
That's right.
actors. No actors.
No actors. Got it.
He's not an actor.
Oh, wait a minute. There might be a conflict then. I've done some acting in the day.
That's
I've
true.
I've done some reality
Ray's-
TV shows.
Ray's kind of a big
I've done
deal.
3. I've done 3 reality TV shows, and so
Yeah.
I'm technically an actor, I think,
Yeah.
because reality TV is all
So-
fake.
No. Eddie
So, Ray,
Fiola
you're-
appeared as an actor in Reno 911, the War with Grandpa, Contraband, Castle, the TV show, Walker, Texas Ranger, and From Dusk Till Dawn, Texas Blood Money.
Now that's
Who's-
as an actor
who's
or
this?
stuntman.
As an actor, that's it. Those are
Who?
his acting
Eddie?
credits. Eddie
Eddie
Fiola.
Fiola. See,
Yeah,
so yeah,
that's as the actor.
Eddie's got a bigger what do you call it then? What's his face?
Resume.
A
Yeah.
resume. I was
Yeah.
gonna say catalog. I like trying to sound more sophisticated.
He's got 6
Yeah.
acting credits and 54
Stuntman.
credits.
All right, bring up Mr. Allen Wrench and see what he has.
Yeah. Wait, what Bill Allen Wrench, like what is his name on Instagram, or what does he go by as far
Bill
as
Slim Allen.
It's what?
Bill Slim Allen.
No, it's not. That's crazy. What
Wait, hold on. It is, and it is crazy.
I'm gonna spell it out for you, but it's something like my rad something.
Career.
My red
Oh,
career.
my rad
There
life.
you go.
That's what he.
Who
yeah.
the fuck goes by my rad career?
Yeah, my rad career. Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
if you're
Yeah, we were going to-
if you're selling your life and book to 55 men over the age of 50, you know what I mean? You gotta cater to them. I've never met anyone that walked up to him and bought that book, but someone's buying it.
He has a
Bill
book.
Allen has 35.
Oh yeah, that's what he goes to when he goes to the Buckeye, he's there peddling his book.
So 35
and
acting
shirts.
credits. So he
Yeah.
does have a lot. He does have.
Yeah.
He was in Breaking Bad.
Ray, I bought his autobiography at the old school reunion several years ago when it first came out.
Why?
I thought it would be very
Oh, well,
interesting to read.
You also
And
are a
it's-
Corey Feldman fan, so that
That's
explains a
that's
lot.
that's also true. Hey, I got to remind me. I got to tell you about my new concert that I'm going to this summer.
Let's hear about it right now.
I don't
Like
want to
we-
derail the train, but I'd love to.
There's
about
no
it. I'm ready
derailing.
to
We
hear
can-
about it, Todd. Go
I
for it.
bought
ready.
tickets. Well, this isn't a music concert, but I bought a ticket,
This is
one
good.
ticket to go see
This is-
Pauly Shore.
Oh, the Weasel.
The Weasel, yeah, in August. Yep.
What
How much did
McDonald's
you
is
pay
he
for
playing
that?
at?
Ray,
What gas station is he playing?
Ray.
What
What?
does he go by? My Weasel career, or what?
He goes by my Weasel career.
My
You know-
Encino Man career.
I saw something from him a few weeks back, and I was like, dude, what is he doing now? So I checked out
Dude.
his Instagram, and then that led me down a wormhole of
You are a glutton for punishment, man. Between Corey Feldman, the Rag Book, and now Pauly Shore,
Yeah.
you'd probably pay someone just to kick you in the ding ding, man. Holy shit!
And New Kids on the Block, your favorite band.
no, I haven't seen New Kids on the Block in concert
say
or
that.
anything like that.
You
What's
know,
that?
you were very knowledgeable when you were talking with my wife about it.
I used to date a girl who was basically like their fan club president, and it was I did learn a lot actually.
Oh my god!
But Ray, I thought you would be so excited. I mean, I could maybe try to get 2 seats if you'd like to come with me.
No, I'm good. I mean, you can just
Okay.
all you gotta watch is what's that? Doesn't he have a movie called Potato Dome or Terror Dome or something? Biodome.
Biodome.
Was it Biodome? Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
yeah,
No, I
Biodome.
think it was Potato Dome.
Him and one of the brothers, the guy that like shot the guy on the movie or the
Yeah.
lady. There's
Stephen
Baldwin. The
Oh.
last Baldwin
The
brother.
guy who
The
shot the lady on the
Stephen Baldwin, or
The special needs Baldwin that's one rung below Bill Allen Wrench is
Come on,
he's in
Ray.
that movie doing
hey,
you know
hey, when I go to the it's a comedy show. So
right.
when I
So
go there,
you
I'll
and 3 other people.
I will make sure that me and the 3 other people in the crowd will shout out for sure, and it'll be a lot of fun.
The Weasel.
Yeah.
He was big back in the early '90s. The
Oh,
spring
man,
break
huge.
MTV nonsense.
Yeah, like Son-in-Law, and then
He was so
did,
bad, he was funny. Like his
Yeah.
movies are so bad that they are
Encino
pretty
Man, like Encino
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
funny. Encino Man's great.
Sorry, Vinny, I hijacked the conversation. I apologize.
Vinny doesn't mind.
That was good, man.
We
Enjoy the show. It sounds fun.
Vinny knows,
We,
Vinny knows how to
I
show
went to
it.
see Corey Feldman last summer, and Ray secretly really wants to go as well. But he kind of gives me a hard time about it. So I thought he would really love to hear that I'm going to go see Pauly Shore.
Corey
So
Feldman could
Todd-
be in my living room and I'd go out the back door just to go to the
No, you
street.
totally would not. You
really think
you love the Goonies. Come on, Ray.
I told you I've never seen the Goonies. I've never seen that show once.
That's
or whatever it
and
is.
that's
the
why
Not
movie.
you're
a
not.
show, it's a movie. You've seen
Yeah,
it.
I've never seen it. No, I really haven't. I
I
may
haven't
have
seen the
flicked
movie
past it.
show.
I
Yeah.
know that they're like they try and recreate Rad by like riding their bikes in the rain. I've seen that little scene.
They do ride in the rain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait a second. They have a BMX scene in the Goonies that is like knockoff of Rad.
No, they don't.
They're
I don't
riding
know.
around, aren't there? There's
They-
a group of kids riding
They're
around.
kids on their bikes. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe more like ET than Rad.
Well, that's what I meant to say. E.T. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely like ET. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It was, and because E.T. and the Goonies was probably the same time, right?
Close. Yeah.
I was stuck in the Nashville airport. Like I got there way earlier than I had to depart. And so I chose to watch Cannonball Run, but the only Cannonball Run I could get was Cannonball Run 2. I had to watch part 1 from like YouTube clips. And Hal Needham produced Cannonball Run 1 and 2.
That's the guy that did Rad. I know that.
That's the
right?
guy who did Rad. And I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, that's a really funny movie.
Bill Nitschke's favorite movie.
Isn't
Bill
like
Nitschke
that
could
in the
Cannonball.
Smokey and the Bandit? That's the same guy, right? He probably did all the Smokey and the Bandits.
Oh yeah.
It's got to be him.
I don't know if he did that or not. I know Burt Reynolds
I
was
would
in
think
there.
he did. Hey, Vinny, have you tried on the leathers that you got at Buckeye? Have you put those on? Are you
No,
going to
but
wear them?
I got a wall in the shop that is purple, so I'll
Oh,
put
okay.
them there. So I
Okay.
do like color block. The bike
What
is
about
actually pretty good in yellow, right? So I put that
Yeah.
next to I got a Kuwahara and a GT,
Oh, awesome.
both in yellow, and the Trek is like more of a kind of a almost a brighter, it's just not as aged, right? It's
Yeah.
probably around a 2000, whereas the GT is 85, Kuwahara is 86, 87.
Oh, wow.
So they're
Yeah.
kind of toned down, but the Trek is pretty cool. In fact, I just was talking to somebody the other day, and they're doing, they're riding, and I think it was that model Trek. So it wasn't Mark.
Okay, yeah, because
Eaton,
there's
it
not a
was,
lot
one
of
the guys from
those
York.
around probably. I think they made a bunch of yellow ones and maybe some red ones, but I mean I don't know much
Yeah.
about Trek but you don't see them that often. Maybe because I'm not looking for
the
them.
down
I don't know.
tube is what caught my eye, and I asked them if it was a Trek, so I got to confirm that or not. But it looked like it was one of those, and so anyway, so they, the funny story with the Treks, I like those people kind of, it's a mid school thing, but I had a Trek mountain bike. It was one of my first mountain bikes. It got stolen, so but they were pretty close. Like they were doing the BMX and mountain bikes, and I was riding the Trek at West Virginia. We had this really good, it was kind of a BMX style track, right? Just kind of through the woods, and had some nice jumps and stuff in it, and rode that track. And then I had it down the not the Jersey Shore, but the Maryland Shore.
Oh,
so we had it outside my apartment. I had it locked up at night, and somebody came and clipped the chain. So we had a security guard out there, and I said to the security guard, I said, "See them cut the chain?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "What did you do?" And he goes, "Well, what could I do?" And I was like, "Maybe say,
Stop
put your bolt cutters away, get away from that bike."
Yeah.
But that was the story of my Trek. So
And then he
so I
went
like
in
these.
and then he went in and he put a turd in the microwave and taught that security guard a lesson.
Oh,
well, it was a Trek, so but I like the mid schools.
Vinny, what
the nice little tanks.
Your 85 GT, what kind is it?
Oh yeah, so I have a 85 GT World Tour that I've had since 1985.
That's awesome. What color?
That one is in white.
Yeah.
And then I have one that's in yellow.
Awesome.
And that's a Pro Performer.
Yeah.
And it's really like a late 84. I have it decked out like an 84.
Yeah.
And I have blue rims on it. So, I know some people might be hating on the Z rims, but I personally had Z rims.
I love Z rims.
Z rims love Ray.
Ray made Z rims famous, man.
Ray made Z rims
Yeah.
Way more than
famous.
Mike Buff did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I have rims and it's 84, 85, I like Z rims because I think it's correct.
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't affording any Yukai or Arayas, right?
Yeah.
Z rims, they were cool. And of course mags. So I have in my shop, and I'll show you, I'm not there now, but I have basically 7 different areas, and they're all the colors of the bike. So I got orange, purple, yellow, green, blue, and then kind of a lighter blue. And so anyway, so I have a orange 84 Performer, yellow GT Pro Performer, 86 Maui Blue World Tour.
Wow.
And then on the lighter blue is just a lighter shade. Actually, I got an SC there at the moment. So I'll mix it up between all GTs, or I'll like the green, screams Haro Master, and I got an 86 there, but I have a 86 Pro World Tour there at the moment. And then when I was just out with Dave a few weeks ago, I started putting together, I have an 85 Master that I was going to take out to him. And it's kind of funny because I get a kick out of it. I took a Haro Sport to Dave Norrie's house. So, but
It's okay.
he let me slide. It was pretty fun. Probably a little bit wider of a
Sure.
ramp rider than
Exactly.
Flatland. I have a kind of an 80 or a 2016 Haro Master that's a Flatland special, but I'm still getting used to that clutch, right? So it's one of those free coasters, but it'll actually go a half rotation when you go back, and every time I'll just
like
kinda
an
stomp
ACS free coaster that adjusts, or the
I like the
all-edge hub?
ACS free coaster. So Joe, so that's a good call out. So there's two kinds of free coaster. So there's the original ACS free coaster that we know back in the day. I guess they didn't patent it because everything on new school is a free coaster, right? And it just, Chad knows, right? It kind of lets you pedal backwards or keep your pedals in place.
A lot of slack.
I'm personally, old man rider, so I like a coaster. Any stopping power is good for me. I like to know that I can stop in traffic. And but the free coaster, I like it. I'm getting used to it. I like the these new features, but you got to be careful when you go from a coaster to a free coaster to an actual a free wheel to a free coaster.
Definitely.
I made that mistake at the track one day. You don't want to do that going into the jumps.
I went off of a stage onto my face because I wasn't used to my coaster brake. It was at Berea Rolling Bull, and I was rolling.
And when that happens to you, you can't get up and blame it on the coaster brake, right? It just doesn't work.
I absolutely did. I had this.
Well, we know.
It was brutal. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
you know what?
But anyway,
what I hated about those bikes,
actually,
they stamped the sprockets. Those old school sprockets, like from '85, were like stamped.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Such janky material back then.
Yeah, I like them for cruising. I got to tell you, if I'm going to go for a ride, they're just, because you got the seat jacked up, you got the handlebars, and I don't try to go too far forward, just kind of keep it nice and above. Whereas I think with the new school bikes, they're kind of hard to pedal around the neighborhood, if you want to go for any distance. So so that's my personal opinion. I like anything with two wheels, but each has its place, right, and its style.
I'll nerd out here for a second, Vinny, but my first real bike that I mowed lawns, took my birthday money, may have even had some money left over from Christmas to buy, was an 85 GT Performer white.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And it was, the classic GT frame with the GT bars and laid back post, but it had some cheaper rims and some like cheaper seats, grips, one-piece cranks, that kind of thing. But it was absolutely perfect for me, and I cherished that bike. Loved the graphics, the yellow, font graphics with the blue line on it. I love the Circle GT logo as well, the blue Circle GT, the classic logo. Still love those. Wish I, still had it today, but it 85, that style for me always has kind of a special nostalgic kind of feeling for me. For sure. So
that was that was a smart buy, because back then that bike was still all chromoly, right? They hadn't switched to Performer.
It was.
So that was a nice bike. So anything in the 85, they got that stamp, the 4130, but the Performer just had some watered down, accessories. In fact, some of them were, probably a little better. Usually they didn't put the mallet on there, right? That was where they got you.
Exactly.
So you just upgraded that mallet, and then you were as good as gold.
Yep.
Yeah. But I have a purple Performer with the yellow font.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are pretty nice. I like the Performer. I mean, the World Tour, I had actually bought the frame and fork off a kid on the school bus, right? So I was in middle school. And I had a Diamondback Viper. And before that, we used to build these Frankensteins, we'd call them.
Sure.
Where you had the choppers, the long forks. You'd put like 10-speed forks on smaller frame. And
Wait a second, wait a
of
second,
course-
wait a second. Can we talk about 10-speed forks on a smaller frame?
oh man, I'm going to tell you. So if you could get 3-speed forks, they were the best, right?
Yeah.
Because they were usually a little stronger. They had the brake, hole in the front. And so you could put, a big wheel, or you could go with actually a smaller wheel, and then it gave it an extra kind of cruise effect and a lot more rake to it.
I had
And,
one of those Franken
and they were
bikes,
pretty fun.
in fact.
Yeah, they were fun. So yeah, I used to enjoy that. To me, that's the aspect I enjoy most, actually, just building bikes. Since
Building the fun stuff.
I could grab a wrench and
Ray has
put a couple things together.
Ray has a
Ray.
friend that lives sort of near him. We call him Uncle Ivan. And he loves to Frankenstein bikes. Like literally, he'll take top tubes from one bike, down tubes from another, seat tubes and welds them together and comes up with the craziest bikes that always work. He's like kind of a mad scientist, and it's kind of
Dr.
amazing to
Emmett
see his
Brown.
work. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's
Ray, Ray, are you
it's
gonna
pretty fun.
explode right now?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Ray, your head's gonna pop right now.
he is.
Why? Why is it gonna pop? What happened?
I see bottles in the background. I just picture you turning around, just crushing them.
Yeah.
Oh, like throwing something at him, like I'm down the shore at one of those things, and you throw
Yeah,
them.
and you're gonna win a.
No, that's a
you're gonna win
chandelier. That's a
larger-
chandelier. We're fancy here in King of Prussia. Everything's
drink-
fancy.
Did you
Yeah.
drink all those?
Yeah. Well, my wife does. She's a wine drinker. You know what I mean? She'll drink those in a week.
Did you
You
say
know,
anger drink? She anger drinks?
She's never angry. No, she likes to unwind, after an 18-hour day of, being on the phone talking to people. It feels like, she wants to.
So
She'll pull the cork out with her teeth. Look, like I got this thing. I
Pull
thought
the
this was.
cork out with their teeth.
I thought this was from that reclamation guy's sex shop, but it's not. It's a-
So
Have you
your
tried
wife,
it?
your wife can make a chandelier in a night, or what?
yeah, it depends, but she's got this thing, whatever this is.
What do you think that is?
They have their end
I don't
table
know. I just don't want her to chip her teeth on
chairs.
it. I don't know what it does.
Got to get that wine in you, you know.
Yeah.
As fast
Yeah.
as
No.
you
Yeah.
can.
Like I said, we're fancy around here, man. We don't mess around.
All right, so
Slowly
Chad, what are you
replacing all
thinking
their
so
furniture
far?
with bottle stuff?
It's all bottled furniture. So Chad, what do you think about Dave's job here on the show? Is it easier than you imagined? Is it everything that you imagined?
Wait, I took thank you for me taking his spot, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That you're.
No.
Dave Morgan.
We're not kicking you off. We're asking,
Oh.
I am asking,
Yeah.
how is your experience of taking Dave's job? Is this like the easiest job ever? Like, do you feel stressed?
You don't look
Have you
stressed
gotten
out
to
or
the
like
part
it's gonna
where you
ruin
have
the
to,
rest
like,
of your
quit?
day.
No,
You don't look like you're ever gonna have to quit. You don't
Dave-
look like you're gonna get fed up and be like, I just can't do this anymore. You seem very relaxed.
like, to answer you truthfully, like, I don't know if Dave's thinking he's David Letterman and just needs to quit on the top, or he's just
Yeah.
what's going on. But I
Dave
enjoy
hasn't reached the
talking to
top
you.
yet.
What's that?
Dave hasn't reached the top yet. That's why he still has the potato dome and flying people out there to do Gumbies, We got to get somebody out there to do like the full on like day in the life of the potato dome, like all from the pickup at the airport to the Dave putting everyone to bed, the waking up the next morning and riding street like somewhere and breaking into a
Can we send Stoney
parade.
out with like a mustache?
Yeah. We'll get Stoney we'll get
Now,
Stoney
Ray,
in disguise.
Ray, they grow potatoes in Idaho, so you're a little off. I don't think they grow potatoes there.
Oh, you can grow a potato anywhere.
don't
I can
think a
grow a potato
potato-
here if I bury one in the backyard.
Yeah, I think Ray is saying like it's like a greenhouse kind of a thing.
Yeah,
So you can
potato
grow
just sounds good.
like
So,
a bot.
so I'll tell you guys. what it
Potato
is. So I've
sounds
been-
dumb. That's why I think
Right.
I said
Yeah.
it. Potato.
Yeah.
Potatoes are it's a very dumb vegetable. You know what I mean? Because like anyone can grow them. You can do a lot of. They're very versatile, but
You think
anyone
it's the
can grow a
dumbest
potato.
vegetable out? Do you think it's the worst one? Or dumb?
It's the dumbest
What
one.
is-
It's the most popular. But I mean, how can you, dude? To grow a potato, you can get a potato, cut it in 5 pieces, bury it in the backyard, and in 3
get 5
days you'll
more
have
potatoes.
goddamn a bunch of potatoes.
Yeah, Matt Damon grew potatoes on Mars in
He
the Martian.
did.
Yeah, it saved
Yeah.
his life.
So if Dave
Yeah,
has
the
something
movie.
called, see, I was trying to help Dave by calling it the potato dome because it can grow. It's a very
So-
easy place to grow.
Anyone can
So you
grow.
got
Stony
it's
is
been known
adorable.
to rain there. It's a
Stoney's
wet
DoorDash showed
climate
up.
there.
His 4 Big Macs
So
and
he's
an
got
orange
a,
juice are here.
So Ray, he's
It's a
got a
dome.
dried-in facility, so he can ride and train 24/7.
Yeah.
Right, but it's a greenhouse. It's a
He's
greenhouse that he
training.
got paved. Yeah, but it's a greenhouse that he got paved. His stepson's his landlord. So if he if Dave says the wrong thing, that potato dome's done, and they're out on the street.
Yeah.
You
Dave
know,
has to be very
No,
accommodative.
it's a tight arrangement, but it's a
I know,
it's a
but
good
my
facility.
job
I
is to
was
make
there.
fun of Dave.
It looks like a good. It looks like a good spot. to
Dave
ride.
Dave could have the
Ray
perfect,
never
most
quit his
dialed
job,
setup.
and his job is
Yeah.
to make fun of
Yeah,
Dave.
Dave could have the most. When Joe's done, I'll finish what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This takes about a minute. Hold on.
This is Ray's favorite part of the whole.
yeah.
Gotta wait for the honk.
Dave's like, I
Yeah.
quit. Ray's making fun of me so much, and he leaves. Ray's like, I didn't quit. Fuck Dave.
No.
Dave
Dave
is such
loves
an
Ray. How
easy
can
mark
you
when
not
it
love
comes to
Ray?
picking on. And that's the thing is,
Ray,
I pick on Dave, and it's the best kind of picking on because I love Dave, and I'm only
Yes.
if I didn't like Dave, I wouldn't even say a word about him. I'd let him go to the potato dome and fail miserably. But I think if I
Like
give him all
potatoes?
kinds of press,
You
that
eat
it'll
potatoes?
get people go there.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm helping
Hey.
him by picking on him.
Vinny, it looks like a good spot, right? It looks like a good.
I'm
like
going to
it's
tell you
good
something.
size.
I'm just going to tell you, right? I mean, I don't know who's from, the East Coast. Obviously, Ray's a Philly boy. It rains there a lot, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I went there, and I'm going to tell you something. It was raining, cats and dogs. I
Yeah.
mean, it was
Oh, really?
falling, and we were just
Does
sitting
it
in there
bang- does it
riding
bang
and
on
having
the-
a great time.
Does
No, I mean, you
bang
could hear the
on
rain.
the-
I mean, when it rains in your house, you hear
Yeah,
it.
sure.
So it doesn't matter.
But-
the roof is
but-
fine, right? But
Wait a
the
second,
point
but
is,
it's a
it's
metal roof,
dried
right?
in. Yeah, it's
Vinny,
dried in.
Vinny,
It's a
which
great
bike did you
facility.
bring? Which bike
Pardon?
did you bring?
Yeah, which bike did you
did
Yeah, that
bring?
was
In which bike
that
did
was
you
the,
go dumpy
Sport.
on in front of Dave?
Sport.
a sport. Yeah, so it was a sport. Yeah,
You
just
can do a
because.
dumpy on any bike though.
Yeah. So, but no, I rode some of his bikes. His bikes. He had some good ones. He had coaster, so I had to get a. I was a little surprised he was riding coaster, but
So this
yeah,
is-
he
this
likes
is-
coaster brake too.
This is
Did you do
good.
Pogo?
Vinny's telling us
Yeah.
what goes on there. So when we show up, we can
Yeah,
all have
so we
rain
know.
gear and fenders on our bikes
Yeah.
to keep the water from
Well, you don't need it.
splashing
You're
on us.
indoors. Yeah,
I know,
you're
but
indoors.
we're
so you're
fucking
good.
with Dave though, so you
I
gotta.
would imagine.
you gotta
Yeah.
be-
I would
you
imagine.
don't, Vinny, Vinny,
Vinny-
you're not catching on to it yet. You're not catching on. Dave could be 100% successful in everything run perfectly.
Everything.
And as soon as I get there, I'll pick it apart and tell him everything's wrong. It's just the way it happens. It's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm on
think
the
it'd be
earth.
good. I think we would love to do a show there with you hosting. From
that'd be-
Noise.
From the
You
potato
could-
dome.
You could host.
I could host.
The
a
only thing
weekend
is, you got to bring your own potato chips because there's no
Oh,
potatoes.
I will have potatoes like you wouldn't believe.
One of my
I'll have
know
a
what they
potato
grow.
drop. I'll have a helicopter. I have a friend that has a helicopter, and I'll have him go up top with 95 baskets of potatoes. And when I give him the sign, he'll drop 'em.
Drop them on the potato dome. Well, it's raining hard.
Ray, you know your missus would love it, because what grows in a nice rainy climate? Think about it, right?
Grapes.
So it's wine country.
Grapes.
So you could
Yeah.
make a chandelier in a half hour while you're
In a
there,
half hour. Oh,
with all the wine and grapes they have.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just the ones in our recycle bin are horrendous.
This week.
No, good stuff. Yeah, Dave is he's doing good. It's a cool spot. I think, Chad, you'd love it, man. You got to go out there and have a go. You would enjoy it. He's got a couple skate parks nearby.
I definitely supported Dave, and I sent him a banner out there, and sometimes he posts the videos and he forgets that it's backwards, and then you gotta like watch it in the mirror to read the banners in the background, and it's like that's kind of an amateur move. So I'm glad you guys got rid of them. You know?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
No, he got rid of himself.
Yeah.
He got rid of himself. He couldn't handle it. We would DM him every mistake that he made. I was like, you have to turn the camera around because the banners are backwards.
Oh, that's happened.
And he got
them. Yeah.
Oh, it's like it happens so often.
And then all the Fat Albert references, he didn't like those either.
He didn't
with
Mushmouth.
With his
Dave
stocking cap.
Did he
Dave
get the
would
white
have like a
things in the
different
corner of
knit
his mouth
cap.
or something? What?
Yeah, he had like he started. Vinny, I think he told us. No, Vinny, you tell us if this is true. Dave said Vinny told me I need to color coordinate, and so that's when you started to see like the hat, the pedals.
Vinny, did you do that? That was you?
Was that
No,
you?
I can't take credit for that.
So
shit.
he's got a second agent or second internet mentor, because he told me that he was advised to color match everything. And I was like, wow. And so we just started laughing at the color match.
Well, you know,
to the pedals.
Coach Wooten at UCLA, he was pretty famous, or USC, right? The famous basketball coach. He was pretty famous for, how to put your socks on. But I'm not that specific on things, So
Socks?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Joe, show the photo I sent you. Just hold it up. Then they'll be able to get Move it over a little bit. There you go.
Oh, that's
There, part right there. See? It's the same
so
thing.
good.
I'm David Dave is at the potato dome. He be going to do something they get gummies.
Yeah, so this is why he quit, because he's like, I don't want you guys to talk about me when I'm not on the show. We have a rule. And I'm like, okay.
That's what
like,
we're
so
doing
are you
right
gonna
now,
do?
though, right?
I know, that's what's
That's like
so
this
funny
whole-
about
this whole
it.
show.
He kind of asked us to do this.
He basically asked us to do this. He knew that it was so popular when we laid into him and made fun of him, that he's like, well, if I quit, they'll come at me and we'll just talk. It'll be just like all Dave, all day on Factor Freestyle. And he won't have to take time out of his day to get the coverage. So this works out perfectly for Dave.
Whenever he was on the show, he was always extremely busy. Chad looks very relaxed. Chad looks like, there could be a inbound missile right now, and Chad would just be sitting there going like, it'll fly over. It's all right. We're good.
Like Kevin Martin in Hawaii. That is a crazy. Did you guys, Chad? Have you heard that story?
He told me that story about 4 days after it happened. So Kevin Martin was on vacation like 10 years ago with his girlfriend, and all of a sudden, like their phones start going off. They're did I say where they were? They're Hawaii. I don't know which Hawaii they were at. There's a lot of Hawaiis, but so they're and they get a message. It goes, inbound missile from China. You have 30 minutes to get shelter, and like you're done. And people were literally like lifting the sewers off and throwing their kids down because there's like no bomb shelters. And Kevin Martin was just like, at that point, he's like, we got 26 minutes left. He's like, and he just went to the bar and got beer, like as many beers as he could get. and just sat down and was just like, people were literally like jumping out of windows and going nuts. And then about like 15 minutes later, they're like, "Oh wait, it's a mistake. Somebody hit the wrong button," and it was just someone sent out the alert. He's like, "So you can find out like, what people are really like." You know what I mean?
So that's kind of like Dave quitting. He hit the wrong button.
He hit the wrong button.
Just hit the wrong button. He got
Dave jumped
confused.
down the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought the missiles were coming.
I have to respect Dave though, because at Detroit, I noticed that he is also an over prepper. So he came into Detroit, and it's only he's only there for 3 days, but he had all of his color coordinated bike gear with him. So it wasn't that he planned the 3 colors; he brought all of them just in case.
Just in case.
He had neoprene grip flange donuts.
Neoprene grip or flange covers.
Donuts. Yes.
So
he must have
Dave's
thought
like,
That's Incredible was coming there to record something.
So Dave's like, "That's it. I quit. No one's ever gonna make fun of me again." And my phone is got all these like spy photos of Dave's color coordinated bag. Like, he cannot get away. We won't let him quit this Back for More in 24 thing. Is he wrote a check
Wait, who's in charge of that now? Is Vinny in charge of that?
Oh yeah,
is that one of Vinny's deals too? That's what we need. That's what we need updates on.
Yeah,
Vinny,
updates on.
Where are we?
Where are we on this?
The last I heard was there was like, is it a Chicago venue or maybe New York?
So the Back for More in 24. So it's going to be epic, right? And still planning out the venues, because obviously there's a lot of places that want to host it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But working through that. So definitely coming together though, and super excited about that. So there'll be more to come. Don't want to get too early on that, and but yeah, the guys are ready to do it. The spirit's there, and they're ready to get the team back together.
There's a really good chance that I made more money at Buckeye selling 80s retired gear than those guys have. If Spike didn't throw that grand up at him, I don't know. It's probably a close race. I might be ahead of him.
He sent me that picture, or who sent? Did you send that to me, Ray, or did Dave send it to me first?
Of what?
If you look at the donations on the GoFundMe,
yeah, Spike. It says Spike.
You will see $1,000.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Spike.
Yeah, thank you, Spike.
Spike's
that was
down.
Awesome.
They may be able to get. Like I said, Spike's just waxing his surfboard in Malibu. He ain't working. So maybe Spike wants to go on tour. They get more people going out to see Spike than Dave doing a Gumby.
Hey,
unless it was at the nudist place.
So Vinny, did you work with these guys to is it copyright their likeness of the show? Because like, this is a story that's happening, and I documented some of it in the zine, but like Eddie told Hal Needham his life story, and then Hal Needham made Rad and paid Eddie out of Canada, and no one in Canada gets royalties. And so is that about to happen again to Dave Norrie? Because Dave is counting on annuities right now.
So I don't know about that story you referenced. I know that
it's true.
When I was 13, I went to the movie theater the day that came out, and I watched that movie in 1986 in my local theater. But as far as the Back for More tour,
that's it.
24, right? Got to work on that. But the guys are in the right place, right? They want to get together, ride again, share it with the family, and pay it forward. So, the spirit's right there. It's not to cash out. I don't think that's what people are in it for. But it's going to be exciting to see them together.
Right, but if some other movie maker, so like, what would happen if someone who is addicted to the dark stoke, in other words, they're a bad actor in BMX, what if they rewrite this story and put themselves in it because Dave and his agent didn't lock up the rights for the story. Like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. And that's why I've retained you as my agent, so that I could help Dave, because Dave doesn't know to ask for these things. All Dave has done is shown up and
Oh yeah,
matching
no,
pedals and
you're
gotten
right.
drunk on tables. He doesn't know to ask for these things.
Yeah. So listen, man. So you guys mentioned Spike, right? So big shout out to Spike. So thank you. So we got to give respect to our Maryland homers, right? So he's
That's right. He's from
Rockville, Maryland, former alum of Rockville BMX. So I think, Chad, you were kind of trying to get your head around the Radville BMX. So that's what that is. I'm from Maryland and in the DC area. So just representing the old, Rockville BMX. So those guys used to put on great shows there. And that's what, we're going to do. They're going to do next year, right? So they're going to ride and put that on. So all of us guys of that generation can enjoy it, but you can also enjoy it with your kids, grandkids, and, friends and family. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Is
Pretty
Rockville
exciting.
BMX still going on? Is it still a company?
No. So that's actually, why I did that, was just to kind of pay respect. So they didn't really, I think in the 90s, in fact, when I came back from WVU after my Trek got stolen, I, went to Rockville BMX to rebuild the old GT, and they weren't around, and there was no internet or, anything in those days. Right. So I ended up with another Frankenstein. I had the 85 GT with the 98 stealth mags on it.
Bikes do you have?
So I got quite a bit. You can check them out on my site, Radville BMX, and I got
tell me how many you got. How many do you have?
So that's a question I get asked a lot, and it's an answer that's always evolving, because I call them dialed in bikes.
No,
so if you got dialed in bikes, 30 plus, right?
30 bikes. Okay.
Wow, 30 bikes. Holy smokes.
Wait.
Yeah,
30 plus
30 dialed in.
30 dialed in.
Dialed in bikes.
30
So,
bikes.
Holy smokes.
So here's what I did last year, Chad, to answer your question. So I had these bikes as like an assembly line, right? Just building them up and, trying different bikes, like between Hutch, it's another Maryland brand. Of course, GT, Loyalist, some Haro, Mongoose, Diamondback, just different bikes, Red Line. So what I did last year was I went on YouTube and I never posted a video before. So I made a 30-day, 30 bike challenge. So it was a challenge because I never made a YouTube video before, but I wanted to show that these bikes were meant to be ridden and, what they were, good for. If you could take them on a ramp, I'd take them on a ramp. If they were just cruising around, they were cruising around, but they weren't carpet queens, was the point. And not that anything's wrong with that, but for me, it's about the sport and the athletics, getting out and riding. So I did 30 days, 30 bikes. Every day I posted a new bike. So I started with my first two bikes, the Diamondback, then the GT. Then I went into, basically a line, and they were all focused on old school 85, 86 era. Might have posted a couple 90, 91, kind of into that era. And, but I got some mid school bikes and some new school bikes, mainly the new school bikes that are good for riding these days.
How many are for sale? How many are you selling right now?
So
I have one for sale.
It'd be hard to let go my two personal bikes that I've had for 40 years. But other than that, everything's got a price tag on them, and I try to price them so that it's not ridiculous. I want to take advantage of anybody. They're below market price because the market goes up and down. It's a little bit crazy in my opinion. What I do is I just I find the bikes through I've been 40 years, right? Kind of building up and riding these bikes and collecting them. So some of them I want to try out and I think they'll be great. And then, they just don't actually do it for me, like whether the geometry or the weight or, the way they come together. But ultimately, you know, all the bikes are for sale, right? I mean, you can't, you know, ride more
How
than
much-
one bike
how
at a
much per
time. I
mile?
mean, unless you're,
How much would you sell the whole collection for?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
if I sold the whole thing, I mean, it'd be a pretty expensive collection.
Name
Brand and like Ray said, I got, you know, some of the
Chad
gear and
has
stuff with it.
huge money.
That's definitely
Chad has
Chad-
huge money.
yeah, it's,
God damn it.
yeah, it's definitely a, you know, go ahead. What's your question, Ray?
No, I'm sending Joe a bike to send to Chad, and Chad's gonna give me $3,000 for this bike today.
Vinny, have you seen Chad shop before, Mr. B's?
I'm familiar with Chad in the sense that, you know, I know he's a legend and awesome, you know, and I've bought some of his bikes from, you know, some of the guys. I think did you used to have a shop in the you know, Wisconsin area, or some guys that were affiliated with you up there?
Yeah, there's one Active Bike and Fitness. It's my friend Mark Flew.
Yeah.
But for the
Yeah,
most
those guys are great. I've
yeah, he restores a
bought
lot.
some gear from those guys.
He's actually riding a hutch right now, like a chrome hutch at the skate park, and riding flat on it. He's been doing it like all summer long. So yeah, shout out to Mark. I don't own that.
Yeah,
but
Mark is great.
definitely friends
Yeah,
with
I've gotten some great bikes and parts from Mark.
Yep.
That's, you know, how I kind of learned about you, because you know, I always try to understand the history behind the part. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, when I buy something, you know, I'm kind of looking for, you know, what's the story behind it, because, you know, it's hard to find these bikes, right? These parts, and that's really what happened was it just became so much more difficult. So you know, over the years, people decide to let go of, you know, their childhood bikes. So I always try to understand that, you know, if it was a bike somebody had when they were a kid or something, you know, to me, that's, you know, there's just always a story behind the bike. You know, if somebody had it for 5 minutes, it's a pretty short story that they know about. So if they start telling you, you know, some history behind it and it's kind of BS, I don't have time for that. But if somebody actually built the bike themselves back in the 80s, and, you know, like Todd said, cut lawns, you know, that's what I did, right? You know, that's a cool story, right? You know, and there's a lot of history in these bikes, and to me, that's, you know, what it's about, right? You know, it's just these bikes that have lasted all these years.
Where do you keep these bikes? Like, how do you keep track of like 30 plus
Chained
bikes?
up in front of the security guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't have that security guard anymore. So I have a shop. Yeah, so I'm in a facility now. It used to be a part of a car dealership in the 50s. So I'm in the auto body location. I worked in a gas station when I was a kid. So I understood the idea of the bays and the working, you know, space of a garage, and then they usually have an office area or kind of retail. So I thought that would be a good space. It was a little hard to come by, but I ended up finding one that was the auto body, and that works out great because it's got higher ceilings. So I got some ramps inside, and
You've got ramps
pretty
inside.
fun.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like a
Potato
chain
Dome too.
We actually had
Potato Dome
a
too.
pretty in-depth conversation with Dave about ramps being inside, and so I'm sure you have great insights about that, Vinny.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, when it rains, right, your ramp gets pretty slick for sure.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if you
for
can
sure.
have it dried in, you know, it's great. Yeah. So if you can,
That's
that's why I told Ray about
the outside.
Well, that's what I
Hey
was saying
Chad,
about the
I got a
indoor
bike for you
space.
that if you want to buy it. I have Gary Pollock's team issued 92 team model. What is it? Joe, show the
GT.
photo of it. You have it on your phone, for Christ's sake. You think I'm sending you?
It
Wake
is
up,
a,
Joe. Joe, you're supposed to go boom. Like Joe, like this. Boom. Boom.
I'm
And then
gonna
Chad,
boom it.
Yeah, it's a chrome
I want to
bike.
see Chad. I want to hear Chad go, I need to have Gary Pollock's bike.
You know what?
I'll pay anything for it, is what he's going to say. You need Gary Pollock's bike. You probably had this exact bike back then.
I actually don't want it, and
No, you
Vinny's
do.
bikes, Vinny's
you
bikes,
want it.
I have no idea about them, but I'm interested
No.
about Vinny. But I don't want to own any of those. So,
Yeah, no, you'll definitely want this bike. This bike I have is magical.
okay, you talked me into it. Just send me.
Yeah, see, just Venmo me the cash,
Yeah,
and I'll ride it out there next time I go down the shore.
gotcha.
Vinny,
All right, never mind. Don't even show the bike now, Joe. You took too long.
Vinny,
Took
so-
too long.
I'm
You know how
sorry.
much
You're horrible
nonsense
teammate.
is in this
You're horrible
group text?
I'm just gonna ask you
I
one more
wasn't. I
thing,
sent
Vinny.
it to you. I sent it to Joe Sisman. Go open up if it was just you and I, one on
I'm
one.
sorry. I'm
These
sorry.
guys.
Nitwit.
Oh,
Come on,
like
I just
right
said it.
now.
Okay. Vinny,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask.
Boom.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
that
there it
thing.
is. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's got the
Very
S
nice.
too. Yeah.
Very nice.
$4,000. It's anybody's who wants it.
Vinny, I was gonna ask.
So that's a bargain.
$5,000. Anyone that wants
Have
it.
you determined how many stops will happen on the Back for More tour, or is that still kind of?
Yeah,
I
let's.
know-
Yeah, how many stops? That's a
I know
good
that
question.
So-
originally we had
No,
talked about.
that's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. So we want to get as many as possible. So, we'll have to see, which cities, obviously the East Coast is a little bit more, easier to get to in the same day. Right. So, but
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be nice to leverage, quite a few, and there's some, overseas venues mentioned as well. Right. So it's not just a US tour, it's a world tour. So,
Which I think there would be a lot of support in Germany.
yeah, absolutely.
A lot of support in
Where are you
UK.
on?
I'm sorry, I'm in Ohio.
He's in Germany.
West.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's
Yeah.
in Stuttgart.
Yeah. So it'd be nice, to be able to, see the Midwest, obviously, the West
Stoney's
Coast.
in France. Andy's in
I'm in
Japan.
Italy.
You're in. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That's-
I thought you were Japanese,
Hey.
not Italian. I
Oh
forgot.
God, I gotta remember to bleep that.
Vinny and Stoney might be cousins, man. You
Yeah,
never know.
Yeah, we got the
They could,
hair.
they could be from the same pizza shop in Italy.
Yeah.
We Angie and I went on this cruise years ago, and it stopped in Sicily, and we stopped in Rome,
Olive Garden, you went.
and we're walking down the street,
Red Lobster.
and she goes, "All I know about Italy is that people hang their laundry on lines across
Yeah,
buildings.
building to building.
Yeah.
They park on the sidewalk and they yell at one another. And
Yeah.
that's because as we were walking down the street, the laundry was strung across. There was a car parked on the sidewalk, and there was this old man and all these like young kids, and they were like arguing back and forth at one another. The old man was clearly winning. The young kids were getting smoked. And then there was some old lady out yelling out a window at all of them. And we're just walking by. And she's like,
Yep.
"The fuck is with this country?" I'm like, that's how they do it.
Vinny left.
Vinny left.
Vinny's gone. Vinny had enough of us.
Vinny had
That was
enough
the
of this.
longest 15 minutes I've ever seen from anybody.
Vinny's out.
Vinny split. Vinny was like, dude,
Vinny also quit.
I see what you did there,
Quit.
Stoney. I see what you did there.
damn. If he comes back, everyone just don't say anything for 10 seconds. Oh wait, no, he's gone. He peaced out.
He's gone.
Man, he left quicker than I do at a contest, dude. Look at that. He got up and split.
What's it? Is it an Irish goodbye, Ray?
Well, I
Irish
call it a race.
goodbye.
I invented it, the Ray Schleckway goodbye, where I just fucking leave.
Yeah, the Ray Schleckwood goodbye.
You know, I'll do it at weddings, funerals. I'll do it
Dude,
anywhere, man.
You are really good at it. Like
I'm great
contests
at
and
it.
stuff. It's just like,
Yeah,
where did Ray go?
gone.
It's like he's been gone for an hour.
Gone.
Yeah.
Kind of like Stoney at Buckeye. He was there 1 minute, and then the next thing you know, we got a text. He's like, I got a cruise, guys.
That's true.
I had to
He's
go.
out of there.
I got the
And,
call, and I had to.
You had to
Take
go.
off.
We had a birthday cake for you, and we had a pinata. We were all ready to party down. I had a gas station beer for Joe. I had to drink myself.
You
We-
did
and
have a
you were
gas
gone.
station beer.
We now have gas station coffee. I'm
In-
so excited about the gas station coffee. That's why Vinny left. Vinny's going to go do the gas station coffee.
Maybe that's
gonna
what
go
it
do
is.
the
He's
gas
going to
station
brew some
coffee.
coffee.
Who's Chad calling?
Oh, I got some people like you there's like a security gate, and if you don't have your name and ID scanned in, they can't get in, and I got some people coming in like an hour. So that's all. I'm just trying to
So
line
you,
that up.
Chad's
not
still
Chad
call-
lives
I'm
in a
not calling
gated
Vinny.
community.
Yeah, I'm calling Vinny.
I thought you were calling
Oh,
Vinny
Vinny.
going, hey man, we're still
Vinny.
talking about you.
You're my
Wheeling and
agent
dealing.
now. That's it.
Yeah.
You're my-
Gotcha. Andy, how's the air quality in Wisconsin? Are
Yeah,
you?
it's better today. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you're.
It was gnarly this whole week.
Yeah,
we
it was here too. It's better
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we got it here too. They canceled kids like soccer practice and stuff because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rode Monday night and I could feel it by the time I finished my session after I landed that trick. My lungs were burning. You can still kind of hear it in my throat where it's gravelly. And then
Yeah.
I wasn't able to ride all week, but it's better. We're in like the moderate now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely better. I rode last night. Now it's kind of stormy. So hoping that it clears up a little bit, but
Friend of mine did some painting this week, and they said that it was outside, and they said that for like the next 3 days they had a solid headache. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds exactly like what Andy was dealing with.
yeah, I had a headache until yesterday.
Yeah.
From Monday. So
I hope this is not COVID-23.
no.
Oh,
Like this is ridiculous. I'm not going, all I'm saying is I have people in my DMs who are sending me the conspiracy theory of what this is about.
What are they saying?
yeah.
I'm
seen
not
some-
gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it on the show. I'm just gonna say go and find you know exactly which people to ask about it.
Have you heard the one about how they're covering the sky so that we can't see the UFOs?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That's a pretty interesting one.
So that we
Oh.
can't see the UFOs.
Yes. Because
Anyways,
they're being disclosed now. So if there was a time to cover it up, right now would be a good time. But
One of my favorite podcast moments ever was when Zach was on Kip Williamson's show, and Kip goes, let's talk about aliens, and Zach goes, I don't believe in aliens because I don't believe in space. And I was like,
Yeah.
awesome. Zach was the one who introduced me to ancient alien theory. He goes, go through the Bible. Every time they say angel, replace it with alien. And there you go. That probably seeded my point of view about frog bars.
Chad, do you need a mechanical engineer to do some stress testing on your deco
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
No,
I've been
not at all.
petitioning to be his engineer to write some durability stuff because I seem to just be breaking stuff.
What parts are you breaking, or what specifically?
Well, I've broken quite a few frames. Recently I broke a stem. That was a nice one.
Which kind of stem?
MOC.
A Schwinn Yo stem.
Yeah, 40 millimeter reach. And I just today, the last couple of times that I've ridden my KHE free coaster, it's been making some weird noises. So I pulled it apart today and I take one of the jam nuts off on the non-drive side and the whole axle just disintegrates.
Yeah.
Oh my
you
gosh.
Just get off the KHE stuff first off.
Oh yeah.
Ezra.
Ride a better brand name stem, and what else do you need help with? Come on, I got you.
No, I'm saying if you need
Chad's advice line is the most succinct.
It is super
Advice line
succinct,
ever.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
I'm
good.
saying I could
He
be
deals
the
with this
durability
every day,
tester.
so.
I mean, if you wanna validate the ruggedness of your stuff, I'm your guy to try and break it because I seem to be able to break everything.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Dave go on tour with you and you try to break Dave?
Yeah.
He might be.
He almost broke you.
at Huff Jam again.
Break
So
potato in half.
So Chad, did we tell you what happened at the last Huff Jam with Dave and Andy?
No.
Okay, so So Dave convinces Andy to sponsor him for the show, for the contest. And Dave's like, okay, you're gonna get the Dave Norrie experience. First off, we're gonna sleep together. And Andy's like, what? And he goes, in the same hotel room. And then after the contest, Dave starts drinking and goes up and starts doing
Let's clarify.
stuff on tables.
Let's just clarify real quick, Joe. This isn't like 7 p.m. after the contest, Chad. This is after his class. So we're talking like
Dave
3
finished
p.m.
his run. Dave
Yeah,
finished
like
his
3
run and
p.m.
started drinking.
Okay. Sorry, Jim.
And so, yep, good call. So then we're upstairs, and I suspect, so there was a woman sitting at the bar that Dave who began to fan out on Dave, and I was convinced that she was hired by the bar to hang out and, you know, just be charming. Well, Dave decides that he's going to do a Gumby on the table with her on the bike, on the table.
That's the picture
And-
we've seen. We've all seen that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Andy
Okay.
and Andy gave Dave a ride, and Andy had never seen this out of anyone. And he's like, how's Dave gonna get home? So finally, and we're like, we're gonna take care of Dave. I don't know how Dave got back to the hotel, but I don't think any of us took care of Dave. Somehow we got there. So Dave like left his bike at the Ramcat or something. And then
Yeah.
Ray, was it you who he asked to
Can
get
I-
a ride back to the Ramcat?
Can I?
And
Yeah.
it was
Let me
like
let me explain this part.
500 feet.
For about, I would say, a little over a half hour, Dave sat and watched us eat the continental breakfast. And Dave's like, come on, I gotta go. I have to go to my car. I have to go get my car. And I'm like, well, where's your car? And he's like, it's at the venue. It's at the Ramcat. I'm like, all right, well, you know, we'll be done here in about 3 minutes. We just got to whatever. And it just wound up being 40 minutes.
And he's
So
like,
I
got
pull
people. I
my
got
car
people.
around. I load Dave's bike into my van. We literally pull out of the parking lot. We go one traffic light and make a left, and we're at the Ramcat. Dave just wanted to be driven. He wanted somebody to take care of him one last time before he went home. He really, seriously, we went, you could have did 7 cranks and sat on the seat and you would have coasted right to where he was. But he suffered for 40 minutes of my Dave Norrie bashing just so he could get a ride and be like, yep, I'm getting, he needs, wherever he goes, he needs to get out of a van with his bike, I think is what it is. That's
Yeah.
the thing is,
Yeah.
he needs to, he couldn't look like, wow, he had to leave the hotel and then ride here. No one's taking care of him. But hey, Ray and the crew carried him, his bike and his self to wherever they had to go. Dave's got a real problem, and we're going to try and figure it out.
I cannot stop laughing that Dave quit the show because Ray kept picking on him, but Ray didn't quit, and his job is to make fun of Dave.
I don't. You know what? I don't think I make fun of him. I point out
Pick
the
on him.
obvious. Yeah, I point out the there's.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
manufacture anything. Dave puts everything right out there.
Right.
You know, I don't wear the orange hat and have orange pedals. I don't touch on every second trick. You know what I mean? You got to call that stuff out. You know.
Well, Dave's gonna have his redemption arc possibly at Huff Jam because I booked I don't even know what kind of suite it is, but it's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room.
Rain Man suite.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Rain
wow.
Man suite.
Yeah, it's actually got 3 beds. So one room's a king size, and then the other room is 2 queens. So
This is going to be like a scene from The Hangover.
right,
I'll go get the chicken.
yeah.
Chad, has anyone put you up in a hotel suite like that?
What do you like a nice place?
No, I mean, let me say, in a
Like a high
place
roller.
with like a high roller suite, like what Andy just described.
I,
Or when was the last time someone has done that for you?
oh, you want to hear this one?
Yeah, I
I've
do.
been I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we're at a hotel with a water park because like it's winter time and I want my kids to have fun and whatnot.
Sure.
So I take this, it's only one story. So it's like my kids look out the window and it's snowing out. And I was like, I'm a dad, open the window and I pull the screen out. And I was like, there you go. And they jump out the window and they're making snowmen. They're like running in the snow and I jump out the window and we're having a blast. And it was awesome. Like this went on for hour and a half. Like, you know, we ordered pizza, we're just chilling. And then all of a sudden, about to go to bed. And all of a sudden I hear, you know, cause you got like the window shut and then you got the drape over it. And I hear the drape moving and I hear a man's voice. And I peel back that shit and a dude was coming in the window. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's on. Like, I can show off in front of my kids and like, you're not fucking coming in this room. And he like turned to a ghost and he jumped back out. I'm like, fucking gonna get you, you know, like, but I was like, oh shit, what are my kids gonna think about this? This is gnarly. Like, so the dude had the wrong window. He was gonna fuck with his friends and go through the window next to us. And just so happened I didn't put the screen in correctly, but the dude actually slashed our screen and whatnot. And I was like, oh my God, this is gnarly. And my wife Keely calls down and it's like, somebody's trying to break in our room. And
this is recently.
Well, this past winter.
Oh
And
my
it was,
gosh. Wow.
it was like, all right, so security comes down. It's a real small hotel, you know? And the people are like apologizing out the window. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking gnarly. And they're like, and we're just like, oh, we don't feel safe. Like, why would we? Plus our kids are at risk and whatnot. So they're like, pack up your stuff. And we're like, all right, we're getting the hell out of here. And they're like, no, we're going to locate you to the presidential suite. And so we pack up and my kids are kind of freaking out, but they're old enough at the time. They're 12 and 14, you know, but it's like somebody's coming through the window.
Yeah.
So they relocate us to the presidential suite and in a small hotel. And it was like massive. Like you could play football in there. There was a jacuzzi in the living room. And it was in a separate shower where everything's electrical and TVs in the shower. And I'm watching.
They must have thought you were Dave Norrie.
Yeah, I'm watching SpongeBob SquarePants in the shower, like because I don't know how to change the channel, you know. It's like, and then we woke up the next day and left. So like, I didn't earn it, but you know, they gave it to us, and it was like it kind of reset the situation. But our kids know that somebody was breaking in. And then we ended up in this crazy room, but and that was probably 10 p.m. and we had to be up at 6 a.m. You know, to get out of there.
You didn't have a long time to have fun in there.
No, and it sounds a lot better than it was, but it wasn't like Las Vegas or anything like that. So, no, that's like the most recent one. I hope.
To be fair,
Dave
didn't ask for the high roller suite. That was my decision.
Yeah.
So Dave's staying with you again, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not 100% confirmed, but
which bed does he stay in then?
The king, without a doubt.
Oh no, King's
or what we call the Dave Norrie when you're with him.
Dave the King Gumbo.
Yeah. Dave the
Gumbo.
King. Yeah. Shrimp gumbo.
Shrimp gumbo Nori.
Hey, we gotta shoot a new intro.
He'll have his redemption.
What is
redemption? He's been writing. It looks like he's been writing a lot. So I hope he does well. He wrote well in both Tulsa and Detroit. So
yeah. He did really well in Detroit.
Yeah.
What's he call it? It's progression sessions. Yeah. He's going.
It's called 1991 and back session. Dave only does tricks from 91 and back. If I see him spin on that pedal one more time, I'm gonna take a hostage to the roof. I can't take it.
Dave's gonna be 58, Ray, and he's still doing tricks that you couldn't do when you were 16. So
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm not. I don't sell myself as a flatland rider guy. I'm just, you know, I rode for 3 years. I was a less than mediocre flatlander, with no skills. So I'm allowed to pick on Dave. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyone should be better than me. You know what I mean? Anybody. If you're not better than me, then you're really bad. So I just, you know, Dave's still trying. The thing is, Dave's still trying to get first place, and I don't think it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
He's just stoked on competing. Really,
I know. I'm just roughing him up. I love Dave, and I love Dave still to be still doing it is awesome, but I can't let him know that. You know what I mean? Like there's no one that's his age that is still out there doing, you know, whatever that, like, you know, riding at that level.
Yeah,
but
and
I gotta pick on him.
And it's good because we're his friends who are saying things like, maybe you shouldn't put your foot down. And then he'll like, oh, okay, well, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I gave him great advice. Remember that time I said, only do the tricks you know you can pull in your run.
Only do the tricks you
And
know
it-
you
and
can
it
do in your
worked.
run.
that's why you were one of the first people, or the most important people, that he wanted to contact after his run in Houston, Ray,
Yeah.
because he was so happy
Yeah.
that it went well, and he's like, I've got to tell Ray
Yep.
about this.
The
Exactly.
no touch run, baby.
He loves all of this ribbing. In fact, we would collude about how he would over emphasize, or he would exaggerate his unwelcome response to the ribbing. Like he won't if you watch Ray give it to Dave will say like, Ray, come on, but he's like,
Then he'll
He
tell
loves
me
it.
secretly,
He loves
don't
it.
ever stop.
don't ever stop.
Like
He'll
there's
say, "Don't ever
there's
stop."
definitely been a time where I thought I went too far, and I apologized. And he's like, no.
He's like,
It was
"No."
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can never go too far. It's like Ferris Bueller, man. You can never go too far.
So Stoney, you have been crushing it on Instagram.
yeah.
There's a word for it. I don't know if crushing it's the right word.
Every time it comes up, I find myself in stitches.
Well, I like the idea of you're just scrolling, and then I don't know, you see Dave doing a Miami wedge on a bar and you didn't see it coming, and then it just like takes on a whole life of its own in your head. And I know if I leave something up long enough, that's going to happen. Or
Yeah.
like putting Todd's head on the Red Lobster guy. Like,
I appreciated that one. Yeah.
like it's not
Like-
something I'll tell him, but I like the idea he'll be scrolling. Oh, my head's on the Red Lobster guy. Okay, cool. And then
I
just
didn't-
going on with life.
I didn't quite remember what I was eating during a show one time, but it did look like in your shot, it did look like I was
A
eating
lobster claw.
lobster claw, or so I have no idea what it really was, but I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Like that's how I kind of see the whole world. You guys are just getting a glimpse of how I'm seeing it.
Sure.
Like having a conversation, you said, oh, I don't remember how you said it, but you said something along the lines of someone at Red Lobster. And it stuck in my head. And then I watch a lot of the back catalog a lot just because it stimulates my brain for ideas. And I saw you eating. And
Yeah.
then once I saw you eating, I couldn't stop seeing you eat. And it was all I saw. So I'm like, okay, there's something here. I'm going to roll with this. And that's how that happens.
I am a firm believer that if you are someone who is a ball buster, you in turn are going to get your balls busted from time to time, and you've got to be able to kind of figure out both. So well done, Stoney. Good job. That was
Like,
I had a similar moment to that when I was watching the Brant Moore show with Joe, and Joe was talking about how Chad was like this
Oh yeah, I told
Bums.
everyone that you're an alien.
Yeah.
Chad. I revealed my belief.
and my
Yeah,
head
continue,
immediately
Andy.
like and my head immediately just cut to the scene at the end of Dumb and Dumber where Lloyd grabs Harry and he's just like, do you realize what you've done? It's like somebody yelling at Chad, and then Joe's in the background with the bus coming towards him like frog bars.
yeah, exactly.
Frog bars.
Frog bars.
Bars.
So
We gotta mention them at least one episode or one time an episode. So frog bars.
Grant sends me the screenshot, and it's it is an Instagram DM to him from someone he doesn't know, because it has like accept, block, delete, whatever, and it just goes all week. I'm gonna read it to you. It's so funny. He basically said, after the Sisman episode, I have had a frog bars experience every day.
That's my wife, but look at the time.
Oh,
3:43. Oh yeah. After Joe Sisman episode, I experienced with frog bars on a daily basis.
No, we all experience it. We just didn't know to
Just
refer
didn't.
to it as that.
Yeah.
You have to, once you give something a name and then you can describe it, then you can bypass all the description. And so now frog bars has 3 minutes and 43 or 3 hours and 43 minutes of definition.
Hey Stoney, when my neighbor walked past us in Ohio, that was
Oh my
about as
gosh.
frog bars as you get, right?
That was so wild. That never should have happened how it did. Never should have
Yeah.
happened how it did. And
And
then
we found out a bunch of stuff about him after I came back home and researched him, and you won't believe any of it.
go on.
It's ridiculous.
You can't say it on TV. It has to be like person to person.
hey,
Ray
Ray.
called me and
Ray.
said, go ahead.
Ray,
I mean-
did you give New Dave some coffee?
No, I don't think I'll ever have any contact with New Dave. He's on his own. You know what I mean? He definitely like Warren has seen him and taken spy photos of him walking to and from work. You know, and but yeah. I mean, I can reveal what's in the like, it's not, if you explain, like, I can give like the short version of what my neighbor Dave
Give the
did,
short
like, because
version.
there's that article, you know what I mean? There's the article, but he works
Chad,
for
this is
Lockheed
incredible.
Martin. So that guy works for Lockheed. Okay. For Andy and Chad, and I guess, and now when we were at Buckeye, this guy walked in and I recognized his walk. And I realized the guy that just walked in to the hotel is my neighbor that walks past my house every day for the past 13 years. So the guy walks to and from work every day. He works at Lockheed Martin. And I went up to him and I said, hey, I'm like, are you from King of Prussia? And he's like, yeah. And I go, I think you walk past my house every day. And I was introduced to him once. So after we were talking and he explained like what he was doing there, I asked my neighbor, I said, hey, that guy Dave that walks every day, he and I told him the story how we saw him in the hotel. And he goes, that guy, he's like one of the most remarkable people that you'll ever meet. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, the guy's like a genius. He works for Lockheed Martin. And he's like, he flew surveillance planes in Vietnam and he got shot down. And he went through all this stuff to make it back safely. And when he got back, he was working at Lockheed Martin and he was like, hey, I think I can figure out how we don't have to fly these planes anymore. And he invented the GPS. He invented the global satellite positioning, whatever, So like the thing that we use every day, he invented that. So my neighbor that lives 7 houses down the street invented GPS. And he's like 75 or 76 years old and just walks to work 2 miles, 2 and 2 miles back every day, keeping it real.
Yeah,
Look at those basketball shorts.
he doesn't need GPS for that 2 miles.
He
so
doesn't need GPS for that. No.
He did
But
it for the world.
But it was just crazy because like I left King of Prussia at 4 o'clock in the morning to get to Buckeye, and then 10 hours later he walks right past me and he's like, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Yeah, I left this morning too, but around like 10 o'clock." He's like, "I flew here with my son," and they flew their plane. So I should have got a ride back. Driving across Pennsylvania is a tough one.
Yeah, you sold all your stuff. You could have just left the minivan here and hitched your ride.
Dude, the minivan passed inspection when I got back. $700 it cost. So the minivan flies another year, dude.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It keeps going.
It'll have 200,000 miles on it by the next time.
Yep.
Dang.
I should be sponsored by Honda Odyssey.
Yep.
Is that what you got, a Honda Odyssey? I support
Yeah.
that. That was my favorite van. It was so good.
And I bought it 5 years ago off my soccer coach when I was a little kid for $1,200. And it just runs like crazy. It's just the best vehicle in the world.
What conversation does it involve with that? I mean, is there an authentic soccer smell still in there when you were younger, or is that what
yeah, you could definitely smell the balls. The balls were in there.
Did you smell the balls? Yeah.
You can still smell the balls. You know what I mean?
That is frog balls, not
frog balls. Yeah.
Hey, Ray, do you have both hands under your arms like this?
No, like this. They're not under my arms. They're like
your hands keeping them warm.
That's under my arms. They're just kind of right here.
He's doing the Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm doing my jazz hands. My spirit fingers.
This is some type of like
missed. I was gonna do jazz hands, but I forgot.
Do it.
No, it's spirit fingers. Jazz hands is Joey and Friends, and spirit fingers is from
Frog Bars. Is this some type of like Illuminati
it's from
signal?
That cheerleader movie.
Yeah, and then put them in your armpit and smell them.
Yeah.
They're not in my armpits, but my armpits are fresh. My armpits are always good, man. It can be 3 days without a shower. My armpits are good.
I'm asking if you pull your hands in your armpits and then smell them. Will you do that?
Yeah.
It
smells like Right Guard. It smells like Right Guard.
You only did one hand. Vinny's not on the show, so we can't make fun of anyone. So what do we do?
There's no rules about.
Andy's a glutton for punishment. We could pick on him all day.
Dave quit and took his rules with him.
What
I still think my favorite Dave moment is when I called him a show hack and he repeated it after I said it.
That one,
I'm like, I don't know, Joe, but I think 2 plywood hoods are higher than a 80s show hack. And then
that one left some marks, Ray.
Show hack. I mean, that was funny, dude. Calling Dave a show hack is hilarious. You know what I mean? Like,
because he didn't know that Rob Nolly said it.
Right. Yeah. 98% of the lines I use, I steal from people. You know what I mean? I don't come up with that. I just have a good memory. I don't come up with this shit. You know what I mean? It's too much work to come up with shit. You know what I mean? I'm just not that funny, but I have a really good memory, and it's something I have.
Well, hold on a second.
I have pretty good timing.
The idea that Ray is not funny, but he has a great memory and a great sense of timing is so funny.
Pretty funny.
All right. What else has happened in these past 3 weeks, events-wise? So Buckeye. Okay.
We had Buckeye. Then we had Detroit was a week later.
Let's talk about Detroit.
Detroit was AFA Stop 2 this year. Good turnout, really good floor. I
Front
think
wheel nonsense. You're trying to say
Is-
front wheel
it,
nonsense.
as Ray would say, I brought some front wheel nonsense.
But then you had that big clip where you showed you doing a lot of back wheel stuff. I was so
Yeah,
proud
that
of you.
was yeah,
You
that
were
was
doing like locomotive nonsense on the back
yeah.
wheel.
yeah. You saw some
Switched
back wheel
it up.
nonsense. Yeah,
Yeah. Is that a
Uh,
trick still? A locomotive?
that
I
was
may
a
have been there when
caboose.
that was first done. I
Yeah.
may have been the first person to see that at like a Rutter's parking lot.
Locomotive's
I
like the best trick. That's like a
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah,
That's in the same
Yeah.
category.
I like to brag about me being the first person to see shit because I was never the first to do it, but I was the first to see a lot of
you
shit.
were
So
first
that's
to
all
see
that's
a
all I
ton of
got.
stuff.
Yeah.
I tried to get Todd disqualified for not having brakes on his bike. I've been pushing him ever since he posted.
Yeah.
To whom did you report, Todd, and what was their response?
James McGraw, and I told him he doesn't have brakes on his bike. This doesn't count.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Everything-
no, we can't do that, man. So
Andy-
Todd posted some old clips from the 80s where he's doing some gnarly stuff with a fully braked bike. And I'm like, you got to put brakes back on. And every clip that he would post, I'd say, there's no brakes on there. There's no brakes on there.
And Andy thinks I was a better rider 30 years ago than I am today, is what he's.
This is brakes. Throw brakes back on.
Yeah. But Andy did very well at the Detroit contest.
First podium.
He had a really good second run.
First run.
Oh, sorry, first run, really good first run. James heckled him endlessly about his music choice, which
Oh,
was
his
his
music is
music
horrendous,
choice?
and I listen to that stuff almost. But yeah, you got to we have to.
Oh, it's
steal
him
his
and
tape
Dax.
Put on some like Tears for Fears or something. Them in the mood.
Joe would say that's the Cookie Monster music.
Yeah.
But he had a really good run, super solid. He looked good too. Like you could tell he's been putting in a lot of time on his bike, which is great. I think he had fun. He also podiumed. You ended up getting, was it second?
Second.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Third. Bree had a stellar run, second run.
Oh shit, she whooped your ass again, huh?
Yeah.
Use that for motivation, man.
So
That chick has your number, dude. You can't
she
beat
had
her, can you?
She like I did, but I like this last weekend we had a jam in Milwaukee, and I picked at her until she agreed that she should have gotten second. She's like, no, you had a really good run. You did some tricks. I'm like, you deserve second. Just say it. And she's like, no, but, and smiling. She's like, okay, fine. I should have gotten second. I'm like, good. She had a no touch run. She did a trick that she had just learned where she's doing just kind of a backwards fork glide holding onto the seat, and she switches feet. So she takes her foot that has the prosthetic off the peg, and she's on her left foot, which has a brace, and without looking, so she's going backwards, and she's like kind of looking forward. She brings her prosthetic back and puts it back on the bike, and then switches feet, takes her left foot back off. And just like the difficulty of that, like not being able to feel your feet at all, but then having basically a prosthetic that shifts around all the time and being able to put it back on there. I was just like, she missed it the first run. Yeah, she missed it the first run, but nailed it the second run, had a flawless run. And I'm like, that's it. I threw a fire hydrant for the first time in a contest and landed it, but that her run like stomped me.
And who was judging?
Dave,
Terry,
Scott Powell.
Maybe, I don't know if he was judging that. Terry Adams.
I don't think so. I think Dave was, right?
Bear and maybe Scott. I'm not sure, but
I asked Scott.
I respect their decision. I just know that she beat me, and she knows that she beat me now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but I was just happy to podium. It was nice to kind of actually put a run together. And to Ray's point, depending on how I'm feeling for Huff Jam and how many people are there for like the beginner class, I might move up to old school or something. Especially if I can put some of my new tricks together in a run. Landed my first fire hydrant to decade ever. I threw a decade in Detroit, and that was the first one I'd like even attempted since I landed the one in Battle in the
Really?
Rock. Yeah.
You're
I
not
came
doing those on the
close.
daily?
Yeah, no, I don't. I almost never practice them until
Well,
recently.
The thing that's different is that he's jumping now.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see him.
Right.
It before was like kind of a step and then,
Yeah, like a little
He-
walkover
yeah.
kind of hop.
but now he's fully kind of jumping, which is kind of the key to getting it
Yeah.
consistently. So that's a huge step, Andy.
Yeah, don't know how that happened. It just, I mean, the one
It
in Detroit
naturally
was the first one
happens.
I've ever actually done like that.
Yeah.
And then over the weekend, last Saturday, I tried a fire hydrant to decade for the first time since November of last year, and got really close. And I'm like, okay, this trick's mine now. And Monday, I just hammered on it for like 50 minutes until I finally rode away from one. So,
Hey, Chad, what's the best name of a contest ever in history?
The best name of a contest.
What was the best contest name ever in history? Because Andy's talking about Huff Jam, and I think that's a great name, but there's got to be a greater name.
One that stands out was Hard Hat Helmet Designs Freestyle Association or something like that. I think it was out of Milwaukee.
That rolls off the tongue.
yeah.
Hard Hat Helmet Designs. I think that was it. Yeah. So
Chad,
I mean,
That's a good one. Hey, did Joe ever tell you about the time that he named a Canadian contest?
let's hear it.
It
Wildfires.
it was the Toronto contest, and they said, hey, let's have a contest to rename this, and
Joe, are you
I called it
breastfeeding
Maple
right now?
Vibes. Huh?
You breast
No, but I do have. He's not.
He's got a
feeding, but
pussy on his lap.
Yeah.
He's
He's
in
petting
the
his pussy.
position,
something.
but see,
Yeah.
he
Scared him.
heard you talking
Yeah, you
about.
offended
Get
him.
out the lint roller.
Yeah, I know, for real, because he's long hair cat. So I named it Maple Vibes, and
Vibes?
I think Brendan Fenton was like, hey, whoever comes up with the best name, who gets the most votes.
Yeah.
And I named it Maple Vibes, and I got like 3 votes, and the only other entry got 1 vote, and
Nice.
so I beat him by 300%.
Yeah, and it was like the other name was like Tussle in Toronto or something like that.
It was really bad. It was really
Maple
bad.
Vibes won by a
And
lance.
it was after James, and it was after James White did Level Vibes.
Oh yeah, which is a great name. Level Vibes is a great name. We laugh a lot with the alliteration of contests. Like I think Voodoo Jam is a great name for a contest based off of the New Orleans culture, and just seems to kind of fit together naturally. We laugh at some events that have forced names from time to time, so it's really good to see them when they work out well.
Like which one was a forced one?
All right, I'll take this one. So there's Battle at the Bricks was at the Indy 500 at the Red Bull, and that they did it in the middle part. But the one I never will let up on is James doing Battle in the Rockies. I'm like, do you mean Battle in Boulder or Rumble in the Rockies? He's like, no, because it's a battle and it's in the Rockies. And I was like, yeah, but even Joe Miller put Anarchy and Anderson together, and you gotta bring that. And he goes, nope, too late. Flyer's already built.
Yeah.
And so what I call it is Battle with Alliteration.
Yeah, Joe has named it Battle with Alliteration for 10 years. Yeah.
But I have to commend James McGraw on his persistence. He's not.
Yeah.
Once he said it, he's not moving off it.
Yeah.
And he
It's
lies
like-
about stuff. He lies about stories in the 80s that he makes up.
Oh,
That
Chad,
fucker.
you missed it.
keep
You
forgetting.
missed it.
I'm still mad.
so-
I'll be mad about that until the one day he goes, "Hey Ray, I misspoke and I made something up. I'm sorry." That's what I want to hear from that motherfucker.
So
Get him
here's
on the
what
phone
happened.
right now.
Backtracking.
Here's
for
what
15
happened,
minutes.
Chad.
Get him on the phone right now.
Funniest thing ever.
Here's what happened, Chad. So you know the story with Mike Buff and Diz Hicks and the duty on the chest. Well, I heard that story. Well, I look at Ray and I go, I heard two versions of that story, but I heard a version that it was you, Ray. And he goes, I never did anything like that. Who told you that? And I go, James McGraw told me that. So when Ray came to Huff Jam, which I believe was a surprise,
It was.
it was a surprise.
I came there
And,
strictly to confront him about this story, by the way.
And
You
Ray's
did not.
sitting at the head of the table, and James comes over, and Ray goes, or one of us goes, "Hey, what's that story about Diz Hicks?" And James recounts what James asserts he saw.
And he looked like a little kid that just broke a window, and his parents said, "Do you know who threw the rock?" And he's like, "Oh."
And it was the most magnificent thing to watch unfold.
He came
So
back
he
three
tells
times
people-
and backtracked each time and told
He
a different
tells-
version. And
He tells
It was
people,
so
Chad,
funny.
check this out. This is what he tells people. He tells people that in the 1987 Ohio indoor contest, which was huge, in the venue during the contest, he tells people, and he said it to my face, that he saw me hover over Diz Hicks, pull my pants down, and poop on him
in the riders warm-up area.
in the riders area. And like I wouldn't even pick my nose in front of like 30 people and then flick it on somebody. Like he's saying he tells people he saw that, and he
Yep.
told me, I go, why would you say that? He goes, I remember you doing it.
You know,
Yep.
you know what it is though. Like when you're a storyteller, and you repeat stories, sometimes over time it makes a story
It
better.
becomes
Yeah.
but but I mean, like he
and-
clearly made it up and then was telling people this for years, like 30
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. So it
think
did
it's
happen or didn't
ridiculous.
happen?
It didn't happen. And even like Mark Eaton was sitting there with us, and he's like, for
No.
somebody to do that, it would be unbelievable. He's like, and Ray would never, like, I wouldn't shuck my pants at any point in my life and
You shit on
poop
someone's
on a
chest?
dude.
You-
No, I never pooped on anybody. The only place
No,
I
the-
ever pooped was in a toilet.
on anybody.
The person you allegedly like shat on,
It was Diz Hicks. He said it was Diz Hicks.
and that was in
No, he said-
practice.
He said Diz Hicks and I set up at the contest where there's parents and children, and Diz took his shirt off. I hovered over him, shucked my pants, cock and balls flopping, and just pooped on Diz out of a dare, and then just pulled my pants up and continued on with the day.
Are you
like-
bummed? Are you bummed about this story?
I'm really mad that he tells people this, and I'm more upset that he believes he's such a liar. What I'm getting at is, what else does he lie about in his life if he tells people that I did that? Like he probably lies about everything.
I don't
He
think you
came
have to
back
lie
to the
about anything
table.
if you got that great lie there, though. Like he's got the great lie, and he can just stick with that until.
But what does he get out of that lie? Like he didn't. I never even knew him.
I think
You know what I mean?
It's
Like-
gotten confused with the Mike Buff
Yeah.
version of
Everybody knows the Mike Buff story, and that's
Yeah. And
that story I've heard from Buff and Diz. That happened at a hotel.
and that's
But
But
why
that's-
would he transfer that
This-
to me?
I think this is a merge of that story meets Ray and the microwave
Did he think the story was so great that he wanted to be there? So for him to be there, he had to have it at an event that he was at. And then the most likely culprit would be me, maybe, because I was known for antics. That's all I can think of.
I don't know.
The best part of that evening, though, was he came back at least 2 or 3 times to the table. And each time, like you, Scott Powell, and Eaton both called him out like that. Absolutely, there's no chance that ever happened. And then he told a different version of that same story.
Yeah.
Well, it was the point of like, well, I heard, and it's like, wait a second, now you weren't even there? Or so you didn't even see it.
Yeah.
The 3-dog defense.
Yeah.
The 3-dog defense.
Yeah.
He didn't know what
Chad,
to do.
Hey, Chad, you're an alien. And so you cross between, and you know people who cross between different worlds. Is there a possibility that James McGraw that we know today was actually the James McGraw in a parallel universe at the Columbus Con? Like, is this
doing backwards
multidimensional
bar rides
James
before everybody else? Doing backwards rubber rides before everybody else?
In the
it a
infinite-
possibility?
Is it plausible that that's what's happening?
In the infinite universe theory, there's a version where Ray poops on Diz Hicks' chest.
It was his back, by the way, they said when it first happened.
All I'm hearing
The
is
real
soundbite
version
after
of
soundbite.
Tony is thinking, Emmy.
His head's about to explode.
Well,
Ray,
is getting
man.
both Diz Hicks and James on the show an option?
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
James has been on. So Mike Buff was at the Buckeye Bike Show the year before, I mean like last year, and I asked him about it, and he told me the whole story, and I have it like on film. But that's the episode where Dave quit after Kim Klesiak was busting his balls, and I never released that. I was going to do a pay-per-view for $43 for that, but I sent you that episode. Stoney,
Someone
and
did.
so
I know I've seen it, but I can't find
Well,
it now.
I'll send it to you right now,
Okay.
and you can watch the Mike Buff version.
Did you ever air the episode where Dave had the young lady on from England that had like, I think maybe she had like
Yes.
cerebral palsy? She was very
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
understand.
Yeah. It was Bill Keggy was on that one. It's there. Yeah.
That one was I really couldn't follow what was going on because
You left.
I just couldn't really get I couldn't understand much of what she was saying between her accent and everything. I just felt bad. I didn't have anything to contribute that day. I was like, what are we doing? I didn't know what it had to do with any of our bike nonsense.
Yeah, that's
when Dave lost me.
Coaching. That was at the peak of Dave's insistence that the show be life coaching. Oh, Chad, so here's how it happened. I told I'm going to have to obscure the names of people. Anyway, I told a gross out story that was true. It's one of those legendary ones. And Dave was so horrified that it happened. He said, Joe, the show was life coaching or I quit. And I'm like, okay, fine. And that's what led me to create the religion, the way of the Stoke.
So Dave's been trying to quit for a while, which you just said.
Yeah, he's been trying to quit for a while.
Okay.
He's been trying to quit for a long time, and he finally did it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm proud of him, but I'm also yeah.
It's funny, right?
It's fucking hilarious.
And then Ray just pieces out.
And
Is
then
he
Ray's
gone?
like out of here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out.
here. But anyway, Dave wanted it to be a life coaching show, and so he's like, "Oh, I have an idea. Let's expand the community of BMX." And he's like, "Let's bring a whole bunch of other non-BMX riders in."
I'm still listening. I'm just got it
Okay,
on mute. I got many
sure.
things I'm doing.
Sure, but that was the idea. And Ray was like, Ray hates life coaching anyway, and so he's like, "I'm out of here."
Ray's making a pizza, I bet. He's making
Ray's making pizza.
That sounds awesome. I want to do that.
Ray does all the cooking in the house. Ray is a homemaker and I am a homemaker, and
Does he cooks up coffee? He cooks up everything, huh?
Yeah.
he has his own coffee. He's got everyone in at his job wearing these t-shirts.
Joe, how are we doing with the large Ray slow roast coffee K-cups?
Oh geez, yeah. I probably could do a little bit more work on that.
Okay.
I moved so I was traveling
Yeah, you were.
all of June and then moving on the weekends.
Yeah.
But I just restocked poor boy Steve, and so he's got those. And what I'm going to do is once he runs out of stock of the expert blend, then I'm going to send a batch to Pat, and he's going to have the pro blend.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to go one to the next, and we've got another really awesome plan coming up for Ray TV, where we're going to put a QR code onto the bags and then have it point to an unlisted YouTube with like Baco Uncut type material.
Yeah, Baco Uncut. Yeah.
Not Baco Uncut, but a Baco Uncut type
Style.
material, like the stuff that you can't
Yeah.
see on the open interwebs. How many people beg you for that, Chad?
It's been, I mean, it happens, but it's not as often as like it used to be, but it's definitely like that infamous or kind of mysterious thing. But no, it was quite a while. It got a little crazy for a while, but yeah, and when you do it, you'll see how it works. It's like you create something and it's like not for people to see, and then they're like, oh, I'm not supposed to see this. They feel they're bad, but it's like, yeah, do your shit and then do your $43 pay-per-view or whatever the hell you do, get that shit going, right?
So when you guys were conceiving of Baco Uncut, you had an idea of what it would be like, and I have very deep respect for the work that you do, and I know that it's really intentional. Like it clicked with me when you did the Baco box set at Voodoo Jam. Like I hadn't put it all together, how much intention and like how much thought you put into these things.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate
given the response now, and I think we're probably 20 plus years, how close to the actual response was your initial imagined response? Can you tell us about that?
You're saying initial response, like we were looking for a response, or
okay, so you had a vision for what it would be like once this thing got out.
I
How
could
similar to reality was that?
far blown away. Yeah, I mean, from what it amassed, the reaction to it, and then the kind of the draw, but also which is really huge is the secrecy of it. It's still sealed, and that alone is like that's a win right there if you can do that. So far beyond. So yeah, it hasn't been brought up in a long time. I haven't really discussed it much, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's something that would be crazy these days, but then it was the right place at the right time, So
am I correct that the only showing has ever been its debut, and then you've never reshown it?
I can't verify that or deny it. Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But it's also the wonder of how many copies there are, and then if there was still a copy or how many were destroyed, and then who owns those copies and what else. So it's like there's a lot of mystery to all that stuff, So, and there's actually an uncut 1 and an uncut 2. So there was actually two of them. The saga continues,
Did you put a a bounty of some sort on the head of anyone who leaked it outside of the designated Illuminati?
You know, it's amazing. No,
Hmm.
and nobody did. And it's like nowadays, like last night, my wife and I went to see a play called Beetlejuice, and
Mhm.
you know, you can't have your phone out. It's a glowy thing or whatever. And I still was trying to take pictures. And those days, it was like a granted wish that came true, and
Mm.
nothing leaked, and nobody has zero footage of anything. So it's all word of mouth, which is such a beautiful thing, because that I don't think can happen these days. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's nothing out there. I don't even know what you're talking about.
This is how myths become legends.
Exactly.
true.
And yeah,
It's
and then
like,
at that time you could do this stuff, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, us doing these conversations too is on that lines as well. So it's like, you know, what is Dave thinking right now? You know, what's Vinny doing right now? Is he polishing his 30 plus bikes? You know, is he like, what's he doing? You know, it's like there's so much mystery, but also like intrigue and everything else. So yeah. Thanks for introducing us to Vinny. It's like, holy shit, man. Where did you find him?
All right, so here's the story. Dave, so Dave had a life coach. All right, so rewinding, when Dave said, Joe, it's life coaching or GTFO, I was like, okay, so I will be, we're like, well, let's try to get rich and famous. So Dave, I'll teach you how to get rich and you teach me how to get famous. And so we got to work, and then I kept calling out Dave. Like I kept giving him tips, like issuing corrections. Like he would do that to me too, but I was like very serious. So then it occurs to me that Dave didn't know anything about me when he agreed to have me be his life coach. Like he had no idea what he was getting himself into. So when he
Wait,
finally
you were his life coach.
we agreed, yes, that's insane, right? So we do that, and then he's like, I can't take this anymore, Joe. So he goes and he finds this other guy who helps him sell t-shirts on the interwebs, and they have these weekly meetings, check-ins.
Vinny?
And I'm like, no, it was pre-Vinny. And I was like, Dave, are
There's
you sure
another
about
one?
this? There was another one. So then Dave found an internet course on internet marketing and started taking those courses. And then eventually he is telling me about this agent of his, and I'm like, what is this agent doing? And it turns out it was a third person, and he never told me anything. And he starts giving like little bits of like information. And finally at the Buckeye Bike Show, I meet Vinny, and he goes, and he's wearing some shirt that Dave had told me about. And I was like, are you Dave's agent? And he goes, yeah, that's me. And I say, okay, well, what do you think of, and I give him some spiel, like plan that Dave and I had worked on. And he goes, no, Dave never told me about that. And I go through all this stuff that like Dave and I had planned or talked about. And he's like, no, Dave never mentioned any of that. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, well, maybe you're going to be my agent too, if Dave's got such a good idea. And then it turned into, he's like, my name's Vinny. I'm like, oh no, you're my agent Vinny. And I took my cousin Vinny and put his head on it and all that.
Are you a life coach for Vinny, or is Vinny a life coach for you? And that goes into Dave's life coach.
Full disclosure, I took an oath to oversee Dave, and so I had to see what was up with Vinny, which is why I was like, okay, you're going to be my agent, Vinny, so that I could see what Dave's experience was going to be, because I have to take care of my little buddy, because he's
your little buddy. Yeah.
he's my little buddy. I got to take care of him.
What Chad just said, it just
He's
hit
my
me.
agent too. Sorry.
It just hit me. So if Joe is Vinny's life coach and Vinny is Dave's life coach, Joe is still pulling the strings. Ultimately,
He
Poor
can't
Dave.
get out.
poor
He
Dave
made an
just
agreement.
cannot get out.
He
Life
can't.
coach by
And you know what?
proxy.
He's got a Dave. What I'm teaching Dave is when you give your word, that's it. You get done. You don't walk out of it. And so, yeah.
I think we just broke Stoney's brain.
No.
Broke
Okay,
Stoney's
I gotta jump in.
brain.
So, everyone here has been cheated on at one point in their life, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and when you find out you've been cheated on, you kind of look more into it, and then you realize, okay, there was more than just me. There was this guy and this person over here and this person over here. So last week at about 10 o'clock, Dave calls me just out of the blue. Joe.
Did Joe just, is he okay? Ray, you're going to have to call the paramedics.
I just
Okay,
can't believe
I'm
I'm
good.
usually the one that gets Joe do the spit take. Stoney's stealing my thunder.
Man, but okay, so he calls me and we're just having a conversation about how to go about marketing and editing and things to include, things to exclude. And it was a nice conversation, and I didn't think anything of it until now.
Stoney, are you Dave's editing coach?
I think I'm Dave's side piece because so as of right now, there's Joe, there's Vinny, there's the mystery guy, and there's kind of me. And I'm just sitting here like I've been cheated on this whole time. And it's only been a couple days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm blowing my mind a little bit.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. This is this we're gonna have to unpack this one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Oh my God.
Joe's cat is just ran for the neighbor's
Left.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, Stoney, I think it can feel that way.
A little bit.
for sure.
I feel
Yeah.
kind of dirty.
I like the sound of Stoney's voice tells me he's 100% sincere right now.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And like when you're getting cheated on, I never realized it until that moment. And you realize, oh, wait, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
that guy,
And that's
I'm
what
the
just
side
happened.
piece.
And Joe spit out his water.
Oh,
But at least
shit.
you can take some solace in what you're being asked to do is different than what Joe and Vinny and the other guy are doing. So you're kind of like,
That's true.
But I'm the
brought
secret.
into
I'm
other
the kept
skills.
woman.
Yeah.
You're brought in because you provide other skills.
That's not
He
helping.
does things
That
the
haven't
other
been met
he
yet.
does things the other guys don't.
Yeah.
how it always happens. I kiss my children with that mouth. I can't let you do it.
Unmet needs.
Dave quitting has been so good. This is so funny. Oh,
All right, boys. I gotta leave in like a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Vinny
We haven't
says
even
goodbye.
started, Chad.
Oh, we're not
Just
starting
getting
yet.
warmed up.
No, this is the warm up. This is the warm up. Now we're gonna start recording. You ready?
Yeah, this is the green room.
Oh my God, it's going for 2.5 hours again.
Vinny's
This is,
coming back.
This is
Vinny will be back.
Vinny's texting me because his phone ran out. And he's like, I wanted to say goodbye. And so I'll just say goodbye.
I thought that was the last time we were ever gonna see Vinny.
Yeah.
I thought we
I
were going
don't
to see
know.
Vinny on the 24 and more tour in
What did
Ecuador
he call
on
it?
top of the
I wrote
ramp.
it down.
He
I wrote
called it
down.
something good.
He called it
called
more
whatever
than
he called it.
24.
Whatever he
He
called
called
it,
it
that's what
more-
we're calling it.
Yeah.
What was it?
More in 24,
back
wasn't
for
it?
tour.
More in
Yeah,
24.
back for tour in 24.
Back for tour in 24.
Back for tour and more.
That's got to be the shirt. There's no changing it now.
Oh God, what did he say? Oh God, this
That
is so
should
funny.
be the
Oh,
Instagram.
back for tour more. Back for
Tour more.
Oh,
It's not a
God.
Tuma.
That should be the Instagram.
All right. How do I sign off then?
You just
Oh,
say
you
say
just-
peace. You say
I'm-
love, peace, and chicken grease, and hit the red
Yeah.
button. Go ahead,
All
say
yeah.
it.
Hey, I'm
Love,
not gonna
peace, and chicken grease.
Vinny
Good.
you guys at all. I'm not just gonna like disappear. So
Hit me up when those frames are done.
I will for sure. I pick one up tomorrow. I'm pretty stoked. I'm having them made in Tampa.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty exciting and stuff. So I'll have it painted next week and everything. So I'll definitely leak some photos and stuff. But getting some stuff done in Florida and some frames is pretty exciting. So can't lie to you. So, but good chat, fellas. Tell Vinny I say what's up. Tell him I don't want any of his bikes either. I don't want any of them. And yeah, you guys have a good
I'm
weekend.
gonna start mailing you bikes once a week. I'm just gonna pull stuff out of the trash and mail them to you every week.
No, you
Unsolicited.
can do that. I'm completely down with that. So yeah, send some like weekly, okay?
Yeah.
Like
I'll
a
go to a
subscription
garage sale
service or
tomorrow and buy a
something.
bike.
Yeah, send them
Yeah.
over. All right, we'll
Broad
see you guys
bars.
later. I'm gonna roll.
All
Chad.
right.
Take
All
care,
right, see ya,
Chad.
Chad.
Later, guys.
All right, so I think we got enough in there to make a new
Stick on Dave.
intro show.
I just don't want Dave to climb
Show
to the top
intro.
of the potato dome and say
Oh.
bye to the world and slide off the roof and break his
This
ankle.
this has got to be all part of his plan. This has got to be all part of his plan.
Joe, did we need to shoot a new intro without Dave?
Oh yeah, we needed that. Oh, we forgot. We'll have to do it
I'll
next
fix
time.
it in post.
So
No, you gotta have Chad as the new Dave.
Yeah,
He's got to
I know.
do Dave's exact part. He's got to do Dave's exact part, like
And
word
that's
for
the
word,
other-
like however
Yeah,
the
I'll-
beginning went.
what
I'll
were you
write
looking
it.
for, Joe? You were looking for some like a voiceover actor to do the spiel.
Yeah, so so here's the ad copy I wrote for large race slow roast coffee. I want to open it, and it goes, the following program is presented by Large Race Slow Roast Coffee. Large Race Slow Roast Coffee. It's like when you're roasting a guy, but you do it real slow, you know?
Nice.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But you're and you're looking
Pretty
for
good.
someone to do a good voice. That one would have
Yeah.
been perfect.
I sent it to George Gallo, and I sent George a video update this morning, and I was like, Georgie boy, oh, how you doing? What's your morning like? Because I wanted him to, like last time he sent an intro, he did like 8 versions of it, and it was just masterful. And I was like, man, I need a professional. Here's
George
Ray
Gallo
again.
George Gallo is good people. He's a
Yeah.
good dude.
Or you could get like Mark McGray.
George is a complete
Boston
weirdo.
accent.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I sent it to Mark.
he's
McRae,
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
I think
George
he's
on the phone, he'll
hilarious
tell
too.
you. George is mentally ill.
Or you could get
He's a functioning mentally ill man.
Mark McGrade has that really strong Boston accent. You could do
I
it.
sent it to him too.
Okay, yeah.
Just get Joe
You-
Johnson to do it with the Lou Ferrigno talk.
you thinking that Joe was deaf, and it was like, what the hell?
Not
is
for
this?
not for 3 minutes for the weekend. I thought Joe was a deaf kid. I'm like, why is he playing? Why is he riding to that music? He can't even hear it. How does he know what Iron Maiden sounds like?
How does he-
One to the hills, one for your life.
Hey, Stoney, you have so much Emmy material in this show.
I'm kind of sweating a little bit, thinking that I'm dishing out, and now I just scream at the top of my lungs, I'm Dave Norrie's side piece.
Oh my God. What if
That's a sound clip. We need a sound bite so that can.
That was it.
what if 20 people have that very
Come
same
forward.
realization, come forward as
It's
like,
possible.
I have been doing stuff for Dave for free for years.
Wait, there's Ron. Ron's another coach. Does Ron know about the rest of us?
No.
Ron is the coach. Ron is the one who told Dave to do the Larry David thing and George Costanza thing, to go back into work like he never really quit.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Like if you watch the group text, he was like, no, I didn't really quit. I was just mad. And then he came to Bentonville and was like, no, I was colluding. So he BS'd his whole way through that, and now he quit.
He got
again.
wishy-washy.
He got wishy-washy. And so now this has turned into the expose that Dave has 30 people working for him for free.
Joe, do you know that in 2011 at Woodward, Warren paid for Dave's like food and something else because Dave was crying that he didn't have any money, and people were like making a collection up for him to like be there, stay there, and get like dinner. And I'm just wondering if we just fell into the trap. Was Warren taken advantage of?
That might have been.
Is this a pattern?
Well, I mean, like, so this is what I find. This is what I've always find surprising about that story. And by the way, this is like we have seen people on the road do this where I don't understand how Dave could fly from Portland to Woodward and then have no money. Like, I don't understand how someone can make a decision to get on a plane.
Where did he live in 2011? Portland?
Ashland.
Okay, so yeah, he did. Yeah, he flew
time.
there, but then didn't have money for the $8 spaghetti ticket that you needed to eat at Woodward.
Yeah, like how do you get like I don't go anywhere without money. And even when I was on tour with rock and roll, I didn't go anywhere without money. And if I didn't, and there were times that I didn't have money, or I didn't have the money that I felt that I was comfortable with, and I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how someone will fly somewhere, then not have money, then will need to get money from people.
When I was in college, me and two of my buddies went to New York City for a heavy metal radio conference. So they're like all these record labels for heavy metal were doing showcases and stuff. And we get to literally Manhattan, and I helped pay for my friend's ticket, and he's like, I have $100 and that's it. I'm like, and we're there for 4.5 days. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't have any money, man. Like, that's a problem. Like $100 won't get you a day in New York City.
No.
So I ended up having to float that whole week, or that whole 4.5 days.
You're a great friend to have, man. You fly Dave the contest, get him the big bed, you sponsor your friend to go to New York. We should hang with Andy all the time. I'm gonna invite Andy on family vacations with me. When that bill comes from Red Lobster, Andy's got it.
I think the next thing we're going to hear, Ray, is that Andy is now the fourth guy in the Back for More for 24.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what?
He's going to be Spike Jones. He'll be the Spike Jones. He'll be there to set up the ramps and announce and whatever they need.
I'll bet that's how we could get Bill Allen.
Oh, wait, you want to get Bill Allen on that tour? On the Horror tour? On the Front Door 24 or whatever it is?
I've got a thing cooking with with Sean Jarvis in Australia for the Down Underground contest. And I was like, I would love for us to do the live judging commentary because we invented that. And that's when James ordered the large pepperoni pizza from Marco's while we were recording live judging commentary. And we were like, we should get Bill Allen on there. And so I was thinking like, well, how could we incent Bill Allen to get on there? And so I was figuring like, because Bill will do anything for cash, right? But I
that's
don't want
pretty
to
funny.
give
You mean
Bill
anything?
cash. Yeah.
Can we get him to poop on Diz Hicks for James McGraw?
There's probably an underground Hollywood. There's probably
Yeah,
a
where
Hollywood
broke
underground
stars go.
of custom videos. There's got to be a price.
No, he's not like that though. Like
Oh.
So he'll do it for free. How would you?
I don't think he would have
we offer
anything
him?
to do with this show now. Just there's been too much said.
Yeah.
He's never watched this show.
He'll never
Okay.
watch it. That's what's so
He
funny.
won't
about
watch it, but people
He
do,
won't go
and
deep cuts.
everyone talks.
Yeah.
Someone will
Everyone
talk.
talks. It'll get back to him at some point.
All
And when
right,
you're
so
in that world,
So I already
Image
destroyed
is
my
everything.
opportunity.
He
I
did-
already had destroyed
Yeah.
my opportunity.
It's
to
gone.
work with
Yeah.
Bill Allen.
Yeah.
yeah,
Done.
All right. Well,
he's the
that's how it
nicest
works.
dude. He really is.
I'm just kidding. I finally met him.
Okay.
We gave at Bentonville. We all signed a shirt, a Flatland Fuel
Threw that
shirt,
thing
and
right in
gave
the
it-
garbage.
and gave it to him. And then at Buckeye,
Right in the
I was
garbage.
like, "Hey, I'm the one who sent you those like 30 emails, one every day, talking about like trying to get you to respond to us." And they're like, "Oh, we never got them." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I will send these to you one at a time so you can
Oh,
see the
no.
ridiculousness." I want to make that a zine, like these insane. It was me and Chad, like Chad and I conspired on this, and he's like, "Hey, we should get Bill Allen to make us a custom video." And I was like, "What would it be about?" He's like, "I don't know, you figure it out, but go get a quote." And so I tried to get a quote, and I copied, and it didn't come back. And I'm like, "Chad, I don't think that he's responding." And I'm like, "I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that, like, hey, I know you're listening, but try to get his attention." It turns out he was never listening, which made the whole email chain so funny. And then I was like, this email chain is going to be really funny when we publish it.
So
And I
when
told
is
him
that
about
coming
it.
out?
Well, I
Yeah.
told his wife about it, and she's like, "That's really funny." And I'm like, "Would you like to collaborate on that?" And she said, "Yeah, I would like to collaborate on that." And it was just just when we started that I remembered that I hadn't sent anything to him. And so I emailed it over.
I can
Ooh.
honestly
Oh,
say
geez.
he's done interviews with me. He's signed some stuff for me. We've just hung out and talked. He's never once asked me for money for any of it. I can say that with absolute confidence.
Wow. Look at that. Bill Allen never asked you for money.
Not once.
Dave Norrie will though.
Everybody's measured by whether they ask you for money.
Well, no, not everybody.
Not
but-
you.
Oh, okay.
Not you. I'm talking about like maybe Ray. Maybe that's our measure of. That's how I measure you, Ray. Like you put the free in freestyle.
I did, yeah.
You do. Oh my God.
I
What
do
do you guys
nothing but
think of this
spend money.
show? Was this good?
2 more hours. Let's go. Todd hasn't even yawned yet, but the Pompadour is at about a 3 today. It's not good.
Yeah, we don't have quite the Conan effect today. Yeah.
Todd hasn't even snacked yet.
Yeah.
We gotta
Well,
wait for that.
I'm self-conscious now of snacking, Stony. I can't. It's going to be probably. I'm a little shell-shocked, so it may be a little while before I can.
What was he eating that time? Wasn't he eating like a sandwich or something? Or he was
Well,
eating something.
I do have to go and get Angie, so I'm gonna join on here. But Ray, you're in charge.
I'm leaving. You kidding me? We're done.
Okay.
Done?
Sure.
I got
done.
a
I got
roll
shit
All
to
right,
do.
we gotta go. Love,
Yeah.
peace, and
Hey,
chicken
see you guys
grease.
later.
Bye.
Love, peace, and
See
chicken
you,
grease.
friends.
Later.
We love